Hey, it's the Bennington Show on what science now tells us is a Thursday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. And Gail, we have a special co-host.
We do have a special co-host. David is here with us. David, who won the Charity Buzz auction to co-host the Bennington Show.
Yes. And by win, we mean paid more than the other people. Good to see you, David. How you doing today?
Thank you. It was the best $7 I ever spent.
You know what? That's $7 that goes to a nice sandwich to a very hungry family. You know, I just got asked to do this other charity event, and it's for Patrice O'Neill to have a giant painting of him put up in somewhere downtown. What is that called? It's not graffiti.
Like a
mural. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking. And they showed me a picture of the mural, and I'm like, this is fucking hysterical. I'll definitely do this. I'll definitely have a big Patrice mural if we can. But I don't think I'm giving out the names now, but it's going to be I'm going to call it a whom's whom of comedy. But if you know Patrice, think of his friends.
Yeah.
It's going to be at Gotham. They asked me to host. And I think it's December 3rd. I don't know why I looked at you, Vito, like you were going to be of any help.
Vito?
And Vito backs up, and he just starts to hit
He just
the
writes his
computer
name.
like, Patrice.
Mural.
Yeah. So, David, if you have another 7, it might be the way for you to go to that.
I will chip in for that as well.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get the show started.
Yeah, sure. Long-time listener.
Yeah.
Probably 10, 15 years.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah, so I saw the auction come up. I thought it was a great chance to finally
You know
get
that
on the
we're
show.
never told about the auctions?
Well, so it's a funny story. So I think I won it in December,
Yeah.
and they said they could never get in touch with you guys. So
That's fucking Chris Stanley.
Oh my God, the truth comes out.
I don't know.
David's calling you out, Chris.
Oh, I got some good Chris stuff. Don't
Yeah, good.
So, so it just so happened I was seeing you at the stand
Yeah.
a few weeks later, and randomly I bumped into you
Yeah.
after the show, and it randomly came up that hey, I'm supposed to actually be on your show one day,
Right.
and you were completely surprised, and you took down my info, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'll get to the bottom of this. So then about like a week or two later, I got an email from Chris. Hi! Exclamation point after hi. It's Ron Bennington's producer.
Hi.
Just wanted to see what days are good for you to come in to co-host studios in Midtown Manhattan. Literally any day, Chris, I can come in. Okay, I'll get right on that. Thanks, super excited. That was February 2nd. a mere 9 months later, here I am.
Chris, how does this happen?
I don't know, and I apologize to you, David. That should not have happened.
Who's that rock star walking by?
Erica Badu.
Wow, very cool. There she is going into Shade 45 right now. She looks amazing.
Our intern Amani and Jen are freaking out in here.
Dude, that's awesome. Great
So
hat,
you should be
as
over there,
always.
David. So why do you let 9 months go by?
I other projects came up, and it would be put in the back of my mind. And
But how many other projects are out there now that we're not getting back to because you can't hold two things at the same time? Just hand it to someone else. Hand it to Jen.
Understood. Next, that will be handed to Jen. And David, again, I apologize.
Apology doesn't work. It's already happened. 9 months went by. I was going to have him in for a whole another day that was going to be way better than today. All right, here's the thing that Chris took credit for yesterday. Gary Oldman popping in, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how the fuck does that? How does Gary Oldman just come into your studio unannounced? Just I'm here, and I got an email from a guy named John, longtime listener like David, and he is friends with the woman who married Gary Oldman. You know that she was taking pictures.
She came in with.
So he heard us saying, fuck, Gary, like we just did Erica Badu. And he's like, and then he texts his friend and goes, hey, I know these dudes. They have a funny show. They're talking, Gary, if you have a chance, just drop in there. And that's what happened.
That's amazing that's
Yeah.
the way. Because even this morning, I was like, why did that happen? Like, that
I
was
know.
such a weird thing that we were sitting here going, oh man, that would be so cool to be. No, we would never bug them or try to steal their guests. And then he just suddenly is standing at the window like, hi,
I think he's going to win the Oscar this year. I really do. Because I think he's due to win an Oscar. He's one of the greatest of all time. And if he does, now I'm going to feel connected.
I know. I was
I'm
thinking
gonna
that
feel like
too.
my friend Gary Oldman did it.
Well, I talked to the Oscar winner earlier, so
Yes.
I'm always going to pull for that person because then that makes a better story for me.
Dude, but then here's the thing. She was taking pictures, and there's a picture of him walking in our studio, and your face, Gail, turned around looking.
I know. I actually look shocked in
Yes.
that picture because I was legitimately shocked to be turning around and seeing Gary Oldman.
You look like a kid who sells Santa Claus. What are you typing over there, Vito?
I was going to try to find that picture.
It's a picture that's
It was-
a person,
it's
a personal thing.
that was sent to
It
us.
wasn't done by fucking AP.
I thought maybe that person put it on like their Instagram or something.
That person that you call is the wife of Gary Oldman.
I thought
Yes.
Gary Oldman's wife maybe had an
Moldman.
Instagram.
He just called him Moldman.
Well, it's better than Gary Coleman. Remember, just before he
That
came
got
in,
fucked.
he goes,
Chris Stanley said Gary Coleman is here. And I was looking down. I was looking like at the 2-foot level.
"Look at how shocked my face is." Like
That is adorable.
I look like I'm so taken aback by this moment.
You are. And you see me just pointing, like trying to move people, like
Get
put
there.
Gary Oldman in that seat. There it is. See, if you didn't win this, you would never see that picture because it doesn't exist. See, like odds of winning the Oscar Best Actor. Well, you like to type so much, Vito.
He does.
Like having a fucking stenographer during the show. Read it back to me. Read back the fucking minutes.
Looks like Gary Oldman has a 1 in 2 odds.
That's unbelievable
That's
odds.
good.
Who else?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, boy. Here's the
Shit.
thing, though. He's won enough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he's won 3 already.
But do you think they'll be scared because he's threatening this to be his last role?
He may be the most terrific thing you've ever seen. It's not threatening. He means it. He doesn't fucking bullshit. Not DDL. What are you doing? Just hit the fucking thing. All right. Who's this? Call me by your name. What is that shit?
That's Timothy Chalamet.
Who is that?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know who Timothy Chalamet is.
What's the Gyllenhaal joint? Which one's that?
Stronger?
Yeah,
What
what
is
is
that
it?
movie?
I haven't heard of that movie. I heard of the Denzel movie that's right under it.
Denzel's what? 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking Oldman's time.
Yeah. It's time for him.
It's his Goonies moment, you know? It's his time down here. It's their time up there, but it's his time down here. Well, Chris, this has been another embarrassing situation.
Yet another one. I'm going to make it up, though.
How?
How are
That
you?
I haven't figured out yet, but I do want to make it up
To who?
to David and to the show.
The show's fine. Okay, the show is okay.
We got to be here every
So
one
how
of
do
those
you
days.
think you would make it up then? How do you think you would make this better?
Would you like lunch today, David?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, a lunch?
Just because you can be bought with some bread and cheese doesn't mean the world can be.
No, lunch is more than enough, Chris. You don't have to make it up to me. This is all right.
What kind of lunch you getting? Parm?
Parm would be fantastic. Yeah,
I
let's order
was
parm.
introduced. No, stop it, Vito. Vito's mom I saw
Immediately.
the other night, and she introduces me to a lady from Palm. If you guys want any Palm, I go, Palm is my favorite fucking sandwich in the city right now, and I'm probably not making that up, since this city doesn't have a good hoagie for themselves.
They really don't.
Okay? You also don't have a good cheesesteak. Like, don't get me mad at New York. It's bad enough with the Giants. But Parm is an unbelievable sandwich.
It's fantastic. We had it recently for, what was that, the intern's last day. And she sent over like a big thing of like half sandwiches.
I like the halves because I like a sampler.
You know what? Give me 2 halves. This is the thing about Parm, though. It's like eating a sleeping tablet.
Yeah. It
It's
does make you really
fucking,
sleepy.
yeah. I can't drive and eat that sandwich. I will pass out.
It's the only chicken parm I'll eat that's not made in my own mom's kitchen. Like it's the only chicken parm I like outside of my mom.
I'm going to take you to a place, though.
Okay.
I'm going to take you to Quality Italian, has a great chicken parm. And that place is just the nose. What's that?
Trattoria d'Arte.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
That has a great chicken parm.
Okay. I'm excited for our chicken parm date.
Chris,
Yes.
the day that we go to that, right?
Yeah.
Remind me to keep you here working the phones. David, where do you live, man?
So I just moved up to Ossining. I lived in Jersey City for a number of years and decided to move up, get a house. And
What are you doing up there, man?
I have 4 kids, so...
Get out of here.
You do?
Yeah, so...
You look like the youngest person who's ever had 4 kids.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked.
No, I'm quite old, so... yeah, so it was getting ridiculous.
You look like you're in your
2-bedroom.
20s. Am I crazy about that?
No, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 20.
It's unbelievable. That's a great look for you. What kind of work do you do?
I write software, so it's...
So you can have 4 kids when you do that, huh?
Yeah, it's very laid back. It's not a...
I didn't know that.
Keeps you young.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't know we still had software. I didn't know it
Do you
still
work
existed.
from home then? Do you get to work?
They let me work from home as much as I want.
God, I would
so-
love to fucking work from home.
Me too.
Yeah, it gets addictive.
You know what?
I'll just call in.
Well, we could, if you want to do it, we could put a connection into your house. That might be nice. You know, you're coming all the way from Brooklyn. What's that called? That fucking cable?
ISDN?
ISDN, yeah.
Is it still ISDN? Or have we moved up from that?
No, they're still calling it ISDN.
They don't actually use codecs now.
Thank you.
He's lying. We just heard somebody say ISDN the other day. What are you talking about? I was at the comedy meeting.
I think it's been upgraded since then. I think ISDN. I think there's new.
ISDN's the older technology. It's still used, but codec is the newer technology that.
And how's that run? Like through your computer?
Yeah, it's through a computer. Yeah, they set up a rig at your wherever you would be, your home, and then they use these IP codecs, or what they call.
By a rig, you mean a truck that comes pulling in?
Oh, I don't have the space for that. I'm sorry.
No, they'll set up a computer that'll do that for you.
They set up a computer.
Yes,
There's a separate computer.
it's a separate computer. Yes.
All right. That's it?
Yeah, it's a computer. Yeah, and then they.
All right, man. Stop saying fucking computer over and over.
There's a mic.
David, how old are your kids?
8 through 1 year.
Oh,
Oh my God.
These are the worst times.
Yeah, it's not a lot of sleep.
No. It's the exact opposite of a restful life.
Yeah.
It's like being a school teacher before, you know?
No, it's quite. My wife does a really good job.
Yes. I don't ever expect a man to do anything. It's like if you say to a person, who do you love more, your mom or your dad? If they say dad, then that woman is the worst woman that's ever existed. That's how bad fathers are at parenting. It's not even. See, Vito, you lost your dad, right?
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's nothing. Losing your mom would be the.
I don't even want to think about that.
It's true. I know people who either lost their dad or their mom like younger, and I would say the people who lost their mom at a very young age, it's like devastating. I mean, like
Here's what happens.
it's so heartbreaking.
If you lose your dad, you're like, well, what did I lose? A couple hours a week? But tops, you know? But if you lose your mom, I think you're almost mad at your mom. That's how much you just take your mom for granted. You're like, she's a bad mom. She died.
I remember when I was really little, the conversation of divorce as like a concept came up. And you said, don't worry, if me and your mom get divorced, you will live with your mom. And I just went like, okay, but like I didn't want to seem too relieved. But I was like, okay. And he's like, if anything ever happens, I promise you'll live with her. I was like, okay. And you're like, and I'll visit and it'll be fine. I was like, okay.
You won't see me that much less than you do now.
Right.
Even when I'm home.
Because, you know, when you're a kid like that, I was like, well, what am I going to eat if I live with him?
That's true. You gotta have food. The funny thing is, like, when fathers do make food, right? They force the entire family to talk about that food.
They do, yeah.
Like, if I would grill, I'd be like, what do you think? How's that chicken? Huh?
Yeah.
Did you get that steak? And everyone's like, yeah, man. But, like, when your wife cooks, you're just eating.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is good, isn't it? And she's like, shut up, I'm thinking of something else. God, stop it.
But if there's like open flame, then for some reason the man is involved, and I don't really know why. Like that's the same in my house. I mean, it's very traditional in that way. Like I cook,
Yeah.
99% of the time.
Right.
And then but if we're on vacation or we're barbecuing, he's like in charge of meat. And I don't know why that happens.
Right, no
I clearly
sides.
would be able to do this well.
No sides.
No, I'm still doing
It's
sides.
always like when I grill, my chick is like, here's the other 4 different things that go with it. This is delicious.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But he does kill it at breakfast, which I still think that's something men can do. Like a
I
man
make
can be
breakfast
like,
all the time,
Eggs,
and I love
eggs
it.
are doable.
yeah,
I love it. Omelets, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about trying to keep a whole dinner going.
Yes.
It just seems, I'm going to be honest here, feminine. You know what I mean?
Like a man, I can't imagine a man dealing with 2 sides.
I feel like anyone that can cook a meal, I should be sexually assaulting them. Does that seem weird? Who's the latest sexual assaulter?
Senator Al Franken.
Was he a senator at the time?
It was in 2006. And
Okay.
he groped and kissed a Playboy model.
Well, isn't that why they're there? Let's take a look at her. Was that her?
No, that's Al.
I already know what he looks like. Thank God Tom Davis is dead and can't see this taking place.
It seems like you have no proof, you know.
No.
Yeah, there's none whatsoever. I want to see the Playboy model. I love the story on Trump drinking water. It's one
Oh
of
my God.
Wait, is that her?
That's Leanne Tweeden.
But isn't there a picture of him groping her?
Yeah, that's what a guy told us on the elevator today.
Okay,
All right, so she's asleep,
she looks
and he's
like
got his hands on her flak jacket. That's adorable, really. They're in a USO thing. Yeah, that's a fucking stupid picture to take. But
That's not a good idea.
That's the kind of pre-Weinstein picture we all did. Like everybody has a picture of themselves hanging brain somewhere. I find the Trump video, the Trump drinking water. I don't know why, but Trump is great this way. Either he makes you furious or makes you just laugh.
I know.
really hard.
And like I think what I like about this is like there's very few times I find enjoyment from it. And I'm actually enjoying this moment.
There's plenty of times that he cracks me up.
But particularly because if you recall, he was one of the people who was so obsessed when Marco Rubio was so thirsty and he kept drinking.
Yeah.
So he had mocked him very strongly for it.
That ruined Marco Rubio's chance to become president.
We
'cause he
can't trust a
drank
man
water too
that
much.
thirsty.
All right, go ahead and play this.
1,000 jobs. Thank you.
He's got some water down on the floor. What?
No, it's okay.
Why does he look like this?
Japanese manufacturers, Toyota and Mazda.
All right, go back. He fucking drinks like a raccoon, like he has those little raccoon hands going.
He really does not. That looks like his first time drinking from a bottle.
He uses 2 hands to drink.
Why does he do that? Well, you know what? Just the other day we were talking about this. He's got some bad shoulder
He
stiffness.
does.
There's something going on there because he really doesn't. He's not able to bend like everybody else. Why does he use 2 hands? Why was he so strange in the way he turned the bottle away from him? And then he tried to
In case
look
it
like
blows up.
it's like too cool to look at the bottle while he did it. It was just like such
Well, he smells it first too, which is
No, does he?
he does like do a strange like purse of his lips that like he's really trying to get ready for it. Here it comes.
There's a moment before he starts
Yeah, it
drinking.
seems like he starts sipping before there's water. I think that's like really what happened. You can't sip yet. You haven't tilted it. I think he needs to get some, I don't know, do some yoga or get
Well,
something done for his shoulders.
Tommy John.
Something.
I said this
don't know.
before. He has the shoulders of a foosball player. It's very stiff. It'll get me in my water, and I don't want to make a big deal of it. Chris has done this before, though. I saw what he went through. Where Crystal said, "All right, like I'll be doing an unmasked or something, and you're at a chair," and he goes, "There's water up there." but you look down and it's down on the floor and further away. So you're like, I'm thirsty, but I don't want to
Just
reach
dip out
far.
of this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, it looks nuts to the audience.
Now, if you listen, you can see also what it might be like to work for.
I don't think we could do any. I don't think we could do any better. I think we got the guy who's going to be our guy forever. He's fun with water. He's always got a fun tweet for everybody. Give me another big story that's out there, G.
Well, Netflix had done this research on their subscribers, and they were asking people about where and when they watch Netflix when they're in public. So on their phones, whether it's on your commute, whatever.
Yeah.
And 12% people said that they watch Netflix while in a public bathroom. Sitting on the toilet in a public bathroom.
Not even their private bathroom.
Not even their private, which
they're at a bus station.
That number's got to be extremely high if public bathroom is 12%.
I'm surprised that 12% of the people are willing to use the toilet at a fucking mall.
Because I assume what we're talking about is a sit-down situation.
You're not going to piss. You're not going to be pissing and look at your phone.
Urinal, one hand.
Yeah. Vito, do you use your phone that way?
Yeah, sometimes I'll
watch a movie.
You know what? I'll watch an episode of a web series, like a Netflix show. I watched some of American Vandal on while.
Then you have you're eating too much cheese. You need some roughage. If you've got enough time to watch an episode. Chris, do you watch?
Oh yeah, I mean I watch I watch movies and TV shows on my phone in a bathroom.
The whole movie, huh?
Not the whole movie. But if I'm watching it on my phone, I'm got to go to the bathroom. I might as well continue
public
this.
restroom.
Yeah,
public.
Yeah.
Do you have earphones on?
Oh yeah, I'll have earphones in, and then I'm just playing. I did it in a Burger King bathroom once.
Oh, I don't know why that's so gross.
Was it turned Burger King bathroom?
Yeah,
probably because he was still eating a Whopper while he was doing it.
That's just upsetting because I'm thinking you want to be in that kind of a restroom for as little time as possible.
What's the story with Erica? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know, but
you're a fan?
I'm a big fan.
Let's try to get her a picture with him.
Yeah. You guys should hang. Yeah.
Make pass out too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to make you faint.
Yeah.
I don't want to draw pain to anybody.
Why would you make her take that picture?
This is the way Vito felt when Tony Danza was in.
So true.
It was crazy. He's the boss.
Was he or was the wife the boss? That was the whole
Angela?
point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, she
Hulu.
was actually the boss, right?
Well, in some ways, I think Alyssa Milano was the boss in some episodes.
There was zero.
No.
And that kid was the boss sometimes.
What kid?
The kid that he was paid to babysit.
Oh,
Danny
the gay
Terrio.
kid. Yeah. Wait, how is there was Danny Terrio and then the dancer Denny Terrio? Remember him?
I don't remember Denny Terrio.
Denny Terrio was the man who taught John Travolta to dance, and then he hosted a show called Dance Fever in the 80s when just as disco was ending, and he worked for Merv Griffin Enterprises, and the story was either he had to or Merv wanted him to. Bop, bop, bop.
Gotcha.
And I was in titty bar in that time period that broke into, I'll just say, a snooze fest to try to keep it as vague as possible. And he was part of it.
Really?
Yeah. And he says, I quote, Merv Griffin is a fucking asshole. And there wasn't anyone there who could relate to where he was. You know what I mean? There wasn't anyone there who was close enough to this story to know what was going on.
Dude, is that a commercial of like a tape that teaches you the moves from?
Yes, you could learn. You could get a video series that would teach you to dance.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Like a Dance Fever person.
By Denny Terrio.
Yes. Look, did you see that there was even a booklet of where you should be at any time?
Right.
And he used to even call himself Danny Terrio, the man who taught John Travolta how to have Saturday Night Fever. Well, that just pulled back the curtain, ladies and gentlemen, on show business for just a moment in time. What else we?
The third video is him talking about it, actually.
It would not be great if he just fucking has a ring around his nose. I'm fucking telling you, man. That man's an asshole. Because I remember saying stuff like, I think Mike Douglas is pretty cool. You know, he always has a co-host. Kids rock and roll. Yeah, give us another story, Jay.
So up on the iBang, there is a video I'm obsessed with. It's dog gets jealous when owner pets stuffed animal. So this dog, they have like a doppelganger.
First of all, look at the eyes of the dog. Like, the dog is so sad that this is happening.
Oh my god! I don't know why this made me laugh. So maybe it's because like
look at him here, like
he looks so much like Birdie.
Yeah, but when the dog has a look on his face, the way you do when you find out this chick you're with likes somebody else. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's good. Why is he so pissed?
I would be.
I like that he tries to ignore it at first.
Yeah.
Like you can see his eye, like kind of looks back over, like
this will be
fuck
over.
this dog.
This will be over soon.
Oh, this is your best friend now. This is your favorite.
It's funny how they do stuff with their mouth. You know what I mean? That's maybe what Trump should do when he opens a water bottle. He should just reach down and grab it with his teeth. All right, Cajun Jack just sent this picture of fucking Chris looking at his phone while he's sitting outside. There's a lot of people that are coming in on your tiny legs too, Chris, from different pictures.
I think my legs look great.
Your legs are not man legs, though.
The hair on them is very odd.
But they're short. They're shorter, I guess, than...
I have a longer torso.
Yeah.
Like I have more torso than leg.
He's built like Michael Phelps.
Thank you. Take that as a compliment.
I'm going to be honest. Today, there was this really fucked up looking pigeon outside. Like, the thing looked really sickly. It was all patchy, and it's like feathers were everywhere, and it actually looked like it had been dipped in oil. It was like kind of making like a coughing sound, and then Vito just pointed out, he goes, "It's the Chris Stanley of pigeons."
Oh, shit. Fuck you, Vito. So what? My immune system's fucked up.
You had a little pigeon friend downstairs, man.
Oh, man.
Long day.
And then he said, then we saw Ron walking up the street, and he said, it looks like the pigeon is pacing and waiting for Ron.
Dude, you're a known entity now. With your 7-Eleven cap. Look how he just has it sticking up like...
Oh, my God. That's so gross, Chris. He just coughed and spit his phlegm into a coffee cup.
Dude, you're going to lose that even position over there.
Dude, I can't see shit like that. Like, that could have made me, like, projectile vomit all over the equipment.
I'll go into the console from now on.
That's going to take a while to get out of my head. It's so fucked up. Ugh.
That's a little longer. That's a fucking TB person that keeps a cup to spit their fucking phlegm and fluid into. Oh, God. It's not a person.
I fashioned up a spittoon back here.
Are you still smoking through this?
Yeah, I'm still smoking.
This is what got you to quit last year.
Yeah, remember you got really, really sick. You were coughing up stuff, and then you quit.
If he tries to quit this year, I'm just going to leave little cigarettes around and see if he can possibly look at a cigarette and not smoke it.
Because you know he can't deny something that's free.
I was surprised that he quit smoking before. It was so out of character for him. But then the second you started drinking, you started smoking.
Right.
Which proves the gateway drug theory.
Yeah, it definitely works for Chris.
It all came back very quickly. Yeah. Gambling, smoking, drinking. It was a fucking shit show.
That's the thing too. Like, if you're a drug addict, you kind of have to quit drinking, even if you don't like drinking that much. Because a couple drinks, you're like this. Yeah, I will do some coke. You know what I mean? Like, why not? All right. Because whenever you're drinking, you're not making the same fucking decisions that you would if you weren't drinking.
Look, I get one like Jameson in, and it's just like not even finishing it. I'm like, all right, now I'm feeling it. What else can go down?
That's when you started sexually assaulting women.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was a couple of incidents that happened. But I apologize.
You can't even deny it.
By the way, I heard from the gig we did the other night how great some of our ex-interns did for us, and we never got around to thanking them on the air. We basically treated them like we did David, of like, yeah, man, glad you bought that. I doubt very much we'll get back to you. I doubt that's happening at all.
That was Cashmere, Connor, and Sweet Boy, a.k.a. Nick. They were all fantastic on Thanksgiving.
The only person who called him Sweet Boy was this fucking...
Yeah. I mean,
He was my sweet boy.
It's creepy.
He was just such a sweet boy. He was
But
just,
you know he hates that nickname, right?
no.
Yes, it makes him look like he's the fucking bottom in a jailhouse robe.
I don't want him to feel that way. He's just so sweet. He's just, and he gets so
just
he gets
because
so
he's
anxious.
sweet and a boy doesn't mean you
Wait,
should.
he gets anxious?
Yeah,
He does,
He gets
yeah.
very anxious.
I didn't know
sometimes.
that about
Yes.
him.
Very if that's why he's a great worker, because if the littlest thing goes wrong, he will not stop until that tiny thing is fixed. But he will panic the whole way through.
Oh,
Yeah, he gets very stressed
I
out.
don't like to be anxious. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, he's a very anxious little guy.
If I had a job that made me anxious for a second, I would quit. I'd go, look, it's too much. I mean, this is why I'm not a pilot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to put in everything. I'm not going to be responsible for everybody's life while I'm driving through a thunderstorm. I'd rather fucking not do it at all.
That's why you got to look at the flight attendants.
What does that even mean? You just think because that's happened in other conversations, you can throw it in here? No, it had nothing to do with this. That's why you got to look at the flight attendants, he says.
That's how you
Well, that's
stay
not what
calm.
the
But
Pilots
that's not
do.
what we're fucking
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
the
pilots
pilot's in
don't
control
do
of the
that.
flight.
Yeah. What
He's
you
not
did-
looking at the flight attendant.
You've heard people say stuff before, and you're like, "Oh, I'll put that away," and then I can feel like I'm interacting. Oh my God, Vito, you make me wish Lunger would get better right
Oh,
now.
better than longer.
No, there's no way that you think you're better than Chris, do you?
Like at this moment, I do. I'm not coughing in your guys' faces.
No. Do you know how many times I've given you projects and then Chris retakes them back over? Most.
That's not true.
It is true. GPS was supposed to be yours.
That was
It's Chris's.
That was one.
That's a major fucking project.
And I'm still waiting for Godfather trivia. I can't wait for him to bring his mother in here so I can crush her.
That's where you went with this. The
Seem-
fucking chance to plug something.
You were doing well just by not talking.
By not talking is your place in life. Oh, God, there it goes, Gail. Don't
I'm just
look.
not even going to look.
It was a dry one.
Switch out with Jen now for some dry one. Switch out with Jen. And give her your hat. Give her
And
your...
take your cup with you so she doesn't bump into it and spill that on herself.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sorry, Jen. Sorry that you have to be in there.
Sit in the longer seat, Jen.
Yesterday, she saw him and she's like, yeah, I'll be in there with Chris. And as she pours, she goes, oh, he's digging in his ear again.
Oh, man.
Like, that's not something you should have to
Was he
say.
digging in with a pen?
Yes. He takes a pen and just starts wiggling it in there.
And Cool Disco Dan also helped us the other night too.
Oh,
and he
that's
was
true.
very helpful.
Yeah.
Well, Disco Dan, we're not allowed to call him that anymore.
We're not allowed to call him by that name anymore. There was an email sent out that said that specifically.
The gossip guy or
And
whatever.
it's
they
my
call
favorite
him.
email I've ever seen officially sent out. That said Dan can no longer play.
Play that character.
Disco
Dan.
Dan the blank.
The Office Gossip. That was the name.
Oh, my God.
That went through official Sirius XM emails, and I was really excited about it when Dan showed me.
Well, he was doing a bit where he was the Office Gossip, and I believe he said that somebody had been gangbanged, and he gave out their actual name. Jen, are you seeing anybody yet?
No.
Jen, what's going on?
You haven't had a date since we've known you?
I've had a date. I've had a
Just
couple dates.
you don't let us know about it.
They're
You
not
try to
anything
keep your
serious
private
yet.
life private.
If it was serious, if it was like serious date, I would tell you guys. But it's like kind of like one date and then just end. So there's no point in revealing.
Is there anybody here at work that you're interested in?
No.
That's sad for the guys here. Wait, you just made a face like you think there is one. Vito, do you know what would be good for her?
That works here?
Anybody.
I know a comedian that would be great with Jen.
How big a comedian? Because she likes, let's say, she has expensive taste.
This comedian at one point had a pilot in the works, but they were. I think they'd be great together. He's exactly her type.
Say who it is.
Say it.
Yeah.
Chris Stefano.
Well, Chris has got a great career. He is. He's a draw. I've never seen him show up anywhere that he doesn't have fans there.
I would love to matchmaker them, but I feel like doesn't that just puts the pressure on, and then it'll never happen.
Plus, he has a kid, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I don't think you're good around children. How'd you like to date somebody who has 4 kids and a wife?
No.
Would that be a problem?
But he's very charitable. Think about it that way.
Oh,
Yeah. And my house is far away too, so you won't even.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. I think, honestly, all dating should be done from a long distance. I think a long distance relationship is the best for everybody involved.
Because of you are excited to see each other when you see each
It's
other.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And then you never act like the sex gets, boring, because it doesn't. There's still enough time in between. You're like, this is exciting. It's not like Vito and his mom where they're together all the time.
Hanging out every night.
Do you guys fight?
Yeah, we get in fights sometimes, but it's all, never go to bed angry.
No, Vito, you never go to bed hungry. That's the difference between. What do you think about this 16-hour diet Bobby Kelly was talking about?
I was listening to it and I was thinking about it, but I just know that if it's like 10 p.m. and I'm like, my stomach growls, I'm not going to be able to stick with it.
Yeah, but that's
why
the thing.
you're your size.
I
But
know.
you start to you retrain your body. I mean, none of us should be eating late anyway. I mean, almost everyone who eats healthy knows that you're not supposed to be eating like big meals late at night. It's
Or
just
even
not-
a snack.
Yeah.
The snack is not good for you. So 16 hours. But I would then say, all right, I'm not eating anything before noon if I only have an 8-hour window.
Right.
You don't want to eat at 7 o'clock in the morning when
no.
you get up.
No.
And like 3 o'clock, like you're done eating.
I can wait till noon. That seems fair.
I don't like to wait when I wake up. I like a massive meal the second I wake up. I think it should be the biggest meal of the day, breakfast.
I love it.
Yeah.
I do love breakfast.
I forget about it most days.
See, that's not
They
healthy.
say that's not good for
I
you.
know it's not.
digest.
It's not healthy.
I
Then
really
you
hate
end
it.
up in the bathroom with a fucking phone watching a full Netflix movie. He
TV
watches
shows.
a miniseries while he's fucking dumping out.
American Vandal on Netflix. That was my bathroom show for a few weeks.
How was that show?
I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. The writing was good, and it took a stupid premise and really expanded on it.
That doesn't sound good, though. Sounds like you just made a longer, stupid premise.
Well, no, because the premise is like it's a parody of Making a Murderer, and it's
Little raccoon is back again.
What are you talking about?
American Vandal. It's a parody of Making a Murderer. Where
I
like
never saw Making a Murder.
I didn't either, but I still enjoyed this. A kid gets caught spray painting dicks on teachers' cars, and it's like the investigation to see if he did it or not.
I watched the first episode. I was like, this is enjoyable, but then I couldn't really imagine continuing on for many more hours.
And like the episodes are short. They're only like 20, 30 minutes. There's only like 8 episodes, I think, maybe 9. But
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I think it's worth it. Any other Netflix questions?
All
Your
right.
reviews are always
Stranger
from the
Things
toilet.
2?
By the way, this is something we saw. All right, new Bennington T-shirts
Mm-hmm.
online. Greg Stone is obsessed with getting one. The Comedy Jam said they were the best shirts that they've ever seen in their life. The Bennington T-shirts, and Kathleen Madigan, the world famous
I
comedian,
love.
wants one. That's crazy.
And where can you go to get them, Vito?
BenningtonShow.com to get those T-shirts.
And they kind of look, oddly enough, like the Almost Famous T-shirts. It shocked me.
Pretty uncanny.
Because I never saw that movie before. They're pretty cool.
Now, who's out of focus guy on the far right? Is that you, Vito?
Nobody can tell.
I'm the thinner one on the right.
Chris is far left.
Well, I'll tell you this. Those aren't my legs. Because I know the picture that was taken from. And that picture was just a waist up picture, and then somebody just drew in a fake leg because it looks like I have no crotch whatsoever. I'm like my normal size from here up, and then 2 strings are hanging down. Are you sure this is you, Vito?
Yeah. No, that's Chris.
All right, so that is all right. And then why do you have some kind of a weird back, like a lump back?
Yeah, what's happened there?
I think that is my leather jacket I was actually wearing today. That's like got very slanted shoulders on it.
And then you've got your arm like a little teapot.
I think I was standing like hand in pocket. I like to go hand in pocket a lot. It's more comfortable.
Okay. Some people are calling the T-shirts almost Bennington. Jeff in New Jersey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Ron? How are you?
Hey.
Hey, I wanted to say I've been a fan since the Ron and Fez.com. Got to go to the Thanksgiving stuff. I've been to a couple of
I don't know why you think we're hearing every third word from you.
I know your phone is cutting out.
I don't know whether you're saying motherfuck and cocksucking during those times.
I just wanted to say that I was at the Thanksgiving show the other day and had a blast. I'm like still on cloud 9 about it. I've been a fan since the Ron and Fez.com days. Started to go do some of the Young Masks and the Street Joke shows this year, getting out and seeing you guys. It's been a real blast. Just want to thank you guys for putting that on to our fans.
Thank you so much.
For coming out.
I'll talk to you later. Chris, I heard that on Jim and Sam's show, Jim, Sam, and Bobby Kelly and Rich Voss were all giving raves. So why don't you find that and put that in a promo before Thanksgiving?
Got it.
Let me do the creative work for you, rather than you just giving it over the voiceover and having them read something again.
I'll be pulling that audio.
See, that makes me nuts. He doesn't even think to himself, "Hey, I don't like to be told exactly what to do. I'm a creative person, you know." Instead, he thinks the way out of it is 100%. Even though I haven't heard it, I'm going to agree to it.
It'd have been better if he said, I'll consider that, but I have some big ideas of my own.
I would have loved that. I would have been the fucking happiest person in the world.
Or if he said, yeah, I'll do that one as well, but I also have one planned that you're really going to like.
Jen, I am going to give you till the end of the year to find someone to fall madly in love with. If not, I take over from then, and I will follow someone.
Oh my God, this is like a rom-com.
It is. It is. Because like in a rom-com, if you get up to a certain date, or else you're going to be forced into a marriage. Wait, that's not a rom-com. That's like Islamic rule. I'm trying to think who would be good for her.
It definitely has to be a successful person.
What about a celebrity chef?
Okay. No, why don't you like that? Not flashy enough for you?
No, yeah.
They're multimillionaires.
Okay, I'll do it.
Rocco DiSpirito?
We have a connection to Rocco. You know who went to food school with him? I guess that's the name.
Culinary school, yeah.
Culinary school. Don Wiki Wickland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know the famous one upstate? The famous culinary school?
Yeah.
It's like CIA or something.
Yeah, CIA.
Don went to that.
Jen, he looks like he would be good for you.
He looks sweet. Like a sweet man. He looks nice.
Then you would like Sweet Boy.
Oh,
I love
he's
Sweet
very
Boy.
driven.
Yeah, but he gets too nervous.
Jen, this is your future. Come on. Look at that nice red chef shirt.
All right, Chris. I mean, Vito. If you're not going to fucking go for a joke and just say stuff like that, save it for your podcast. David, you got anybody that would be perfect for her?
I work with a couple guys that are really good.
Software guys?
Software guys. They're meteorologists, actually.
Whoa,
really?
Jen.
Yeah.
Meteorologist.
They got PhDs.
What are you doing? Weather software?
Yeah, so what it is we have meteorologists on staff, and they predict the weather, and then you can use
Sometimes they predict the weather.
Never.
A lot of times they miss out.
And then you trade natural gas based off of what they think is going to happen. So
Oh, so you do trades based on the weather?
Yes.
Holy
Whoa.
shit!
Yeah.
So there's a show, This Is Us, I think, where
Yeah.
the main character, that's what he does too. So it's
I hear like a lot of sensitive people like This Is Us.
I know. I have heard a lot, but yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like,
I like a show with a gun in it. You know what I mean? I like a show where someone has a gun and they're not afraid to
so
lose it.
who's murdered in This Is Us? No one? Well, how am I going to solve the crime then if there isn't a murder?
I just want to see shows about CIA now. Nothing else. I just want to see
The culinary school?
No, not the culinary school. I would have went to that school, but you have to be able to make sides, and I'm not going to do it. I'll cook meat for you. I'll cook meat and nothing else. Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, great show today.
Yes, it is.
Back to your back to the conversation a minute ago. Last night, my wife put me in charge of dinner. I picked up 4 New York strips. She came home; they were all cooked. She said, "What are the sides?" I'm like, "See 2 steaks."
Yeah, have a steak next to your steak. I like to have a side of burger with my steak. How about just a hunk of cheese just sitting there? Isn't that a nice side? How about a bottle of whiskey as your side?
Yeah, what is a side that a man makes? There's no side that men make.
Sometimes you can throw asparagus on a grill.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it has to be something like you could throw on the grill.
Also on flame.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not big. I mean, sometimes a nice pork chop is a lovely side.
Right.
If you need a vegetable, there's a pork chop there.
Well, what about a surf and turf situation where
I
the
do like
seafood
that.
is the side to the meat?
Again, you got to be able to throw the seafood directly onto the grill.
Right.
It's not going to be something you're going to
You don't want to be
put in an
steaming.
oven like an idiot.
You don't want to be steaming something.
Grilled corn's a good side that men make. I make grilled corn.
Where? In your fucking apartment?
No, I had a backyard for 1 year.
What do you mean you had a backyard for 1 year?
When I moved in with my girlfriend, we lived on the Upper East Side and had a backyard. It was really nice. We had a grill.
That was a dream you had.
So sad.
It was real. I have pictures.
Pictures. Why don't you get over her, Vito, and fucking move on?
He's not over her.
No, I'm not over. I'm going to keep just living life by myself. And then,
Who do you think you're punishing by living like this?
Her?
no, myself.
Why?
I don't. I think. Well, I was the wrong one in the
No
relationship.
shit.
Yeah, I fucked everything up.
You're the wrong one in everything that you do. Why would the relationship be different? What did you do that was so bad? Kept playing with your fucking wrestling dolls?
I kept playing with wrestling dolls, watching wrestling and Mets games.
Yeah, she just didn't want like.
She wanted to grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She wanted you to get grown up.
yeah, and
You
I didn't want to get grown up.
So now you're happier that you wouldn't?
No, I don't even watch as much wrestling anymore. So it's kind of like it was a pretty uneven trade.
But do you think that there's something good about somebody who wants you to change who you are? Like, this is obviously something that gave him joy. Is that really a good match for him?
I saw her not too long ago and said she told me she's finally being sucked and fucked in a way that.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That
Well,
was pretty inappropriate for her to bring up to you.
I don't think it was. I thought it
Ron,
was
you
honest.
remember me. I'm Vito's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'd rather her not speak to you like that.
It's not up to you, bro. You moved on. You moved on. She's got her own life now.
It seems like she speaks to a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, what?
Yeah. She loves it.
Who else does she speak to like that? You?
You know who she's been with.
I know. I don't like hearing about that. And then I have to hang out with those two and just look at them in the eyes like we all know what's happening.
Do you see who they were with the other night?
I did.
Yeah. They're doing all right for themselves. We got to take a break here.
Yes.
David, since you're the official co-host today, go ahead and throw out the break. I'll let you do something I never even let Chris do. Throw out the break.
All right, Chris, take us out.
Bennington, Raw Dog Comedy, Sirius XM 99.
Bennington, we are back. Gail, you just had an exciting moment in the hall.
Yes, I stepped out of the studio and felt someone grab my hand and begin to twirl me around and sing, "This is how we do it." And I look, and it is Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons grabs my hand and twirls me around and says, "This is how we do it."
This is how we do it. So David, our co-host, our charity co-host, got his picture taken with him.
Very cool. I didn't see you grab it.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I love.
Are you a big Kiss fan?
Yeah, huge Kiss fan.
When Vito took the picture, and I heard Gene Simmons say to Vito, "So, how's your band, Mumford and Son?" And then because he's wearing he's got his new stupid look this year. And then everyone in the hall laughed at Vito.
Oh my God. And then that's the one that they say Chris looks like, so that proves it.
Well, Chris is wearing almost the same shirt as Vito today.
This is bullshit.
They both. What do you mean bullshit? You're both wearing lumberjack shirts.
Yeah.
He's got to tell me what he's wearing, so we're not wearing.
I'm not telling you what I'm wearing.
It's very weird.
I need that.
Don't you think that would be a weird thing?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, I'm wearing plaid today.
That's something twin sisters say. We have our guest ready to come in, or no?
Seems like he is moments away
Just
from
a moment
coming
away.
in.
Okay. What did you say, Chris?
I said just a moment away.
Okay. Bob Saget is going to be here. David, do you know what you're going to ask him about, or what you're going to?
I got a lot of Full House questions.
Do you really?
Ask him. Oh yeah, episode 2nd season. His shirt changed in between scenes. I was just wondering.
Fuller House is the new show, right? Have
Yes.
any of you guys seen it?
I saw the first season. I have not seen the second season.
He's also got a special out now. I think that's what he's around promoting.
His new special is 0 to 60, and it's available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, DirecTV.
It's one of the first people that he's going out on multiple platforms. I'm obviously curious about that.
Yeah.
It's not just one of the platforms. I don't know how specials even work anymore. We live in a time of madness. Madness, I tell you.
I just know that everyone wants one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have not really seen that where you're going to get it on that many.
Normally you go to one thing. You don't get a chance to go on all. I have a show out. It's on all the channels.
Every channel. I'm doing well for myself.
Yeah. Obviously. All right, so he'll be in a couple of minutes, and people are also saying that Vito slurred through how they can get their Bennington T-shirt. So how do you do that?
You go to BenningtonShow.com, and that's where you get the shirts.
BenningtonShow.com? You can't go off of our Twitter?
Well, when I checked, it was BenningtonShow.com, but let me check.
Don't we tweet things out, though?
Let's also tweet it out. These are not the shirts.
These are not the shirts.
These are not the shirts.
It was the Talking Heads. Was that who it was? It
Yes.
was the Talking Heads?
I think he went to go see the shirts, but the Talking Heads were also on that.
So, by the way, it's a pinned tweet at the top of our Twitter. So are you nodding? Because this is radio.
You can go to at Bennington Show on Twitter, and you can get the shirt there, and it's at ibangshop.com as well.
Is there any way that we could clear up some of the people that aren't gay? Be more noticeable?
I don't see anything really wrong with it.
Oh, it's called the Almost Bennington T-shirt now, officially. Sweet, I didn't even know that. Bada bada boo doo. Tomorrow we should have some big guests as well. Tomorrow being a Friday.
Yes.
And it's the Friday before Thanksgiving week all fucking ready. I can't even
know how that
can't even
happened.
understand how fast this year went by.
It's really disturbing. There was so much buildup, especially to this time of year for us.
Yeah.
And then to just be like, okay, I guess that's it. Thanksgiving show's over. Now it's like really happening.
You know, I don't think we ever officially got around to thanking Hard Rock Johnny. Johnny?
Johnny.
Bennington's.
Thank
We
you
kind of
from
talked yesterday.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So I didn't think that we thanked you during that talk.
Wow.
You brought up funny stories.
We did, and you don't have to thank me. It's a pleasure to be able to do amazing events with shows that I love. So it's definitely a good thing.
Oh, that's good to hear. It's good to hear you feel that way, Johnny.
I do. I would do those shows any day of the week with you guys.
Oh, that's too much. I'm going to be exhausted.
And thanks for letting Black Girl Douglas come back.
Yes,
was
he
very
was
fun.
allowed. It was fine.
Yeah.
I liked that he came with a little. It was funny. Like a lot of the comedians came with like a little crew. Like they each had their own person with them, and Earl had his person with him.
Oh yes, he had
Lily.
old friend Lily. Yes.
Yeah,
I was very happy to see her.
Lily's gorgeous too. You forget when you don't see
She's
her
a beauty.
for a while.
Yeah.
And she's a really good baker.
Unbelievable baker.
And
Unbelievable.
we had Lily and I had a 15-minute discussion about baking bread and the such.
Johnny, I have to make room for Bob Saget, who's about to come in. Is there something you wanted to say before I go?
I just wanted to know if Gene Simmons liked Gail's Gene Simmons boots that she's probably wearing today. That was my only
I
question.
legitimately am, and I haven't worn these in a while. But by strange coincidence, I am wearing them.
I knew it. That's why he liked you.
All right, peace out.
Later, Bennington.
Johnny.
Somebody told me that he was worth $300 million. I'm like, why is he still running around every day trying to sell stuff? Why can't he just take a break now? All right, Bob Saget is here. What do we plug in on that, Vito?
Bob Saget's new special 0 to 60 is available now on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play. And DirecTV, go to bobsaget.com for more information. Bob Saget is in studio with us. Bob's new special 0 to 60 is available now on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and DirecTV. Go to bobsaget.com for more information.
Thank you. It's crazy. It's multi-platform. It's like 150. It's never happened before.
We tried to figure out if we had a mistake there.
No, it's never happened. It's amazing. This company, Comedy Dynamics, one day.
I know them.
In May, I got a phone call. Hey, I was on a plane. And then the phone took off. The plane took off. The phone took off, and the plane rang. And I got an email from the guy Brian Volkweiss, and he says, "You want to do a special Tuesday in Brooklyn at the Williamsburg Hall of Music?" And I went, "A special?" And he went, "Yeah." And he said, "We'll make it look different. We're going to do it all up." And I've been rolling this new hour, 90 minutes for like 3 years. And I said, "I want to do it." Yeah. And so then they shopped it around, and then they found out that everybody was interested, and they came up with this new model, which hasn't happened. So it came out first the other day on iTunes, and you can get the movie, you can get it's every part of the cow. They're selling everything. It's got LPs even, but you can get the album, and then Amazon I like because it's 2 clicks, and the joke is you can buy the lotion and the and then it's on everything. It's on Spectrum, DirecTV, whatever you have all over the world. It dropped at the same time, every cable system, so it hits your on demand. So it's like Wonder Woman or 0 to 60.
Yeah,
I would go Wonder Woman, but that's me.
But after you watch Wonder Woman, it's right there for you.
It's right there. It's a perfect counterpart.
When they told me this, I go, well, first of all, you're wrong, because that's impossible, because people want things to themselves. They don't share.
It's really amazing the deal they were able to make, and it's and it's it's nice. I mean, it's in Times Square billboard and things like that. Us comics like to see that.
Yeah, you like to get a nice picture of yourself in Times Square.
You wish your mom was alive. I wish she could come and look at it and then go, "It's a beautiful picture. It's the size of your head, Bobby." And then I'm on buses. You're doing good if you're on buses, but not if you're on buses. if you're, but it's not bad to be on a bus. It's good transportation. I don't mean to put down bus people. Oh no, he offended bus people.
Oh, you know who travels by regular bus? Gilbert Gottfried, when he tours.
You see the documentary?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
It's beautiful.
It is
I'm in
beautiful.
it for a second. I forgot. I was watching it with my fiance, and she said, "You're not in it." And I said, "No, I am. I was next to you. I was probably talking to you, and you thought it was me, but it was me on the film."
Yeah.
But it's a lovely movie. And Dara, his wife, I mean, he's such a special guy.
He is, man. He's just incredible. And then you see that side of Gilbert that he's never shown anyone before. Well, you're the same way. You can be your act on stage, but then you're a highly sensitive person.
Very much so.
Off stage.
And on stage, if it's a television special, I'm not going to screw up and get on and have a breakdown. And if there are moments like that, we cut them out. Yeah. And you do a couple shows and try to make a really good special for people and entertain them. Which is what I'm trying to do. But when I'm doing a real show, when it not real, the special wasn't real. But I was in the South. I was playing a theater a few months ago, and I said something that was a little bit, in the Bill Maher area, you know, and it just was something that had happened that day. And at some point, you just say what happened in the news, and people go, "Well, what's wrong with that?" I'm like, "Well, what? What are you talking about? Something's wrong with that." And and I upset some guy, but I said, okay, you got a couple options here. I'm not going to have a show ruined. We're all going to enjoy this. This could be a town meeting. We're going to have a nice time. We all have different beliefs. We're going to put everything aside and we're going to have fun. And otherwise, I'm happy to give you your money back, and it's fine. And you don't have to. You can leave. And he ended up staying. And it was at a time. It was a really sensitive time. It was another one of our really sensitive times.
Right.
And that was it. And then I had the whole audience singing for like 40 minutes because I had done like an hour stand-up already. So.
Well, there's like a stream of consciousness to your stuff. And what's great about your stand-up is we never know what you wrote and what is coming off the top of your head.
Me either. So that's the interesting part is to... there are stories, if I'm telling us, and this was a specific thing, kind of like my book that I had written, Dirty Daddy, to get out things that have happened that I wanted to relate to the audience, whether it's jokes below my belt, which is kind of people think I'm just a dirty comic, but that's just because I was the dad on Full House and,
right.
And then Fuller House is popular. So that's like, there's new ones in December, but the audience gets it now. They know that if you're playing a part, you're not that person.
Right.
Anthony Hopkins didn't eat people. He wasn't Hannibal Lecter. So I'm not a dust busting freak, although I do own one. But I mean, what would I do if people came to see Danny Tanner on the stage? I'd be like cleaning their glasses. But I'm really proud of this special because it's really it has a couple of things that are a little relevant to what's going on. I mentioned Bill Cosby. I mentioned I'm the only TV dad you can trust now. Because so much crap is going on in the world. I just can't take it. You can't take it.
It is.
We can't take it.
Yeah, it's exhausting, isn't it?
You don't know what's. I have not looked. I have not been able to answer emails because I've been so busy. But then you hit the news, and if you're in the middle of like a press tour and you're coming in, I get to talk to you, and I haven't seen you for a bit, and we want to be connected to the moment. But if you hit CNN, your heart drops, and you're going, and what's going on? What famous person abused power today? Who's been hurt today? Whose life's in danger? Who's been violated and never spoke, and all this stuff. It's just. I guess I'd like to think that there's a big mirror that's getting held up, that eventually there'll be more accountable people that won't just be powerful, rich people or successful or famous people or politicians or celebrities or whatever that means, or actors or producers that go and do stuff that they won't do it because probably they just don't want to get caught and have their career ruined. But if that's what it takes to stop them from walking into an office and going over to a plant, it's a crazy, crazy thing. And you can't laugh at it because there's so many people that have been hurt, but something in me just takes it there. Even in my special, I talk about my mom passing away, and she said she was coming back as a dove. So, I'm scared of doves. So that's where comedy comes from. It comes from pain, and we're in a lot of pain right now. Everybody.
Well, I think about a guy that we lost that was good friends with you, and that was Rickles.
I loved him so much.
And he took us to some dark places, but there was always light involved, wasn't there?
Always. He would talk a lot about World War II, and a lot about losing his mom, and a lot about, at the end, he would dedicate it to his son, Larry, who died at 43 years old of a mysterious virus. And Don was like a dad to me. I got very close to him. I had known him. I'd put him in the movie Dirty Work that I directed, the Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang movie. And Don was one of the most special people that I'll ever know. And he wanted to make people laugh, and he would be mean, but it wasn't like the meanness that we see in people that aren't equipped, they're like Jeff Ross is a friend of mine. He's a good hearted man. So, but there are people that are in leadership that are making fun of people and making jokes that are just mean, and there's no humor and there's no love because they don't have any, because they don't. I guess most of the problem with all these people is, I hate to say parenting. I always turn into the parent at the end of the day. It turns into a Full House episode. But I really think it has to do with who taught you how to behave, who not behave, who taught you how to treat people, and kindness. And that's where Don Rickles was one of those guys. And I could share a cute story with you. I took Don and Barbara to dinner about a year ago at a place he likes in L.A. called Craig's. And we're sitting at his table, and people come over and kiss the ring, and all they want to do is be insulted. Go get my car, but it was always done in this way. And he had the swagger of this and his posture and the way he looked. It was this adorable, cute man, with a strange, I keep trying to think of tarnacious, cantankerous, I don't know, like angry, I don't know, Karamudgeon look. But he's sitting there and he had diabetes. He wasn't supposed to eat anything. And I ordered like those little pigs in blankets and Barbara, it was just the three of us. And Barbara's there and they bring over the pigs in blankets and he goes and eats one. And he was 89. And she goes, "Where'd you get that, Don?" And he goes, "It's a restaurant. They have it. It's a restaurant." And then she leaves. She fixes her glasses. He always called them like welding glasses or something. She goes to the restroom and I looked at him and I actually made him laugh. I said, "You got to get out of this." And he laughed real hard because, who tells a guy to leave his wife after 50 years, who basically was the love of his life.
Yeah.
And she just posted a picture just the other day because John Stamos and I both got engaged to each other. So we're really happy. And then it's a nice time in my life right now, and then there's all this stuff in the world that hurts so much. So it's a counterbalance of wanting to enjoy your life, but not wanting to just get drunk and howl at the moon to enjoy your life. So to just be part of everything, and I don't know. I just directed a movie. It's coming out in May. If you'll have me, I'll come back in and try to sell the hell out of it. It's a special movie. It's about, we think my kid's on crystal meth. It's called Benjamin. It's got a great cast, Rob Corddry and Kevin Pollak and Terrio and Dave Foley. Really good independent movie that I worked really hard directing and being in. And I wasn't on meth, I'm not a method actor. I think that's why they call it method.
How many great movies has Kevin Pollak been in over the years? Isn't it amazing?
It's astonishing. And in between takes, he would say, "Can we move it along, people? I've been in 80 movies, okay? Nobody's counting 81 movies, okay? I forgot about this one. 85 movies." And he's just a delight. I've known him forever. We all started together. And Rob Corddry is this crazy talent. He's just, and Marilyn Rice Cup's really good. She plays my girlfriend in it, and she takes out a post on Facebook for an intervention for my son, hence the dark comedy, because that's not where you get an intervention from. And it was written by this guy, Joshua Turk, and I've been attached for like 5-7 years to it, and we had 15 days to shoot it, which is actually shorter than this interview.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling like you are too, man, with the world the way it is. You're just trying to stay balanced, right?
Well, what I think is interesting is that you're saying, with everything going on, how do you decide what is impactful enough to put in a special? I mean, it's different in stand-up because that's in the moment and that, that comes and goes and it's live. But how do you decide what that's happening in the world is lasting enough to
That's what you want, is something that's evergreen.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of things in it. I mentioned Bill Cosby. I mentioned a little bit of, getting into the borders, but nothing really, it ain't Bill Maher, I'm doing next year a New Year's show with him in Hawaii,
Is that right?
It'll be, a little silly and dirty, and then Bill and getting his stuff out. But I mean, it is a difficult thing to figure out. And it was a kind of storytelling. This was more storytelling than any other thing I'd ever done. And then I did 4 songs that are new. And then it was funny. I was on Mark Maron's podcast and I said, "Okay, so this is, I do music in my show." And he goes, "Oh God." And I went, "Well, no. It's like Martin Mull used to do music, like really good music." So that's my influence when I was 17. And I'm not saying my music's really good, but I love doing it. The audience likes it. And the last song is called "We've Got to Be Kind to Each Other." And that was kind of my mantra for the special. And it's kind of dirty. It's like an R-rated "We Are the World," and they sang along. And the whole point is that I want to entertain people, and I want to be part of it. I needed to get this out, and it's sad too. I mean, I talk about losses and stuff, and lost a bunch of people this year, and we all did. The world is, and then people that you thought you knew you don't know, and just it's so. Then I look at. I mean, I get my news from John Oliver and Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers and Jimmy Kimmel, and that's where I get my news. I want to hear it. I'll watch the clips from them. I can, if I turn on the CNN, or I'll even turn on Fox just to see what the world's really thinking, or I'll stay to MSNBC because Lawrence O'Donnell's my friend, but, or wherever you go to it's not like Full House's theme. Everywhere you look, there's a hand to hold on to. It isn't that way. It's not that way right now. And so maybe all of this division will bring us back together with some. I mean, I'm looking for Robert Kennedy with 3,000 security people around him every second.
Right. You're looking for
this bubble
that.
wrap hero. I want somebody who's a philosopher that can surround themselves with great military people, great political people, people that listen. I mean, the division and parties, and I mean, it's not everything's a football game, and that's not even a safe. Well, it is. It's still sports. You're in a safer place, and it is entertainment, but there's still division going on there with everything. It's just,
there's divisions in each party now. Like the Republicans are splitting two ways, the Democrats are splitting two ways. People are just not looking to bring this thing together.
No. And we all know the answer. Everything comes from the top. When people work for a company and they go, "Oh, this is a great company," and you go, "Why?" "Oh, because this guy's running it." You're in a showbiz way, if you're in a Steven Spielberg movie, there's a kindness. If Clint Eastwood, I mean, here's a guy that's, no matter what you believe in him, his political beliefs, here's a guy when he directs a movie, he doesn't want anybody yelling. He uses a little thing, he whispers, "Just tell that guy to move over there."
Yeah.
And then he goes and directs things that are, at this moment, he's still able to do stuff. That's
the kind of people that you look and think about before.
He goes and directs things that are, at this moment, he's still able to do stuff. That's
the kind of people that you look and think about before you start directing your films. You think about some of the great.
I watch a bunch of movies, and then I really get into the movie I'm working on. Working on Benjamin was, half a year of reading and rewriting and working with the writer and the producer and trying to figure out what can make this better and how are we going to get it done with this schedule and this budget and all that. So that you really kind of isolate. You really kind of just go into that project, but then. I mean, I'm hooked on Stranger Things, so, you do what you can.
Yeah, right.
I proposed while watching Stranger Things. We actually paused it. Why are you pausing it? Oh, I have something to ask you. It's going to be a very Stranger Thing that's going to happen.
Bob's new special 0 to 60 is available now on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and DirecTV. BobSaget.com for more information.
And that's still the mind-blowing thing to me, that you got this out on all the platforms. Again, there's so many that I know people are like, "I'm on Hulu, but I don't know who's seeing me because 90% of the people don't get Hulu," or somebody gets Amazon and 90% of the people don't get Amazon. But the fact that you could put something out that people can get to.
And they were able to launch it on the same day.
Yeah.
It was back on the 14th, which is just moments ago, because I've been doing so much press, it all floated together.
Yeah.
And it's just really, it's an honor to me, because it meant that all these platforms went, "No, Bob is known from 5 different things, so let's put him out there because we think it's going to sell."
Right.
That's a business decision. And let's not compete. It's a different world. And let's be exclusive for what? How's it going to draw it to us? It might draw us to us by, it's like saying when ratings are up on television on one show and everybody's watching one show for some reason, ratings go up on everything usually.
Right.
So it kind of is, I think it's that theory. I don't know.
I would agree with that, though. I think enough people go, "Oh, this is the golden age of television," where it starts to become that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's brand new. I mean, there's going to be a TV network that we're going to surf, not cable, and it's going to be called like Flumpa, or I don't know, Flan, and all of a sudden it'll have the #1 show. And that's the beauty of the arts, that there will be places.
Yeah. Always great to see you, my friend. I hope you're back in May, and we can talk about your movie.
I definitely will be, and I'd love to be here. And I'm sorry I just riffed so much. I'm on a.
No, we love when you do that.
I'm on a overspeeded up press tour. I apologize.
The new special 0 to 60 is available now on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and DirecTV. Go to BobSaget.com for more information.
Thanks
you
so much, and thanks for contributing the winner of the contest.
Yes,
I didn't want to jump in.
Quick question. Just give him a quick question. This could be your.
All right, quick question. So how is it doing shows on Netflix versus TV that would come out every week? Because my daughter actually watches Full House, and I watched it when I was a kid. And I had to explain to her, no, it came out Friday night, once a week.
It actually started on Tuesday nights for 4 years, and it bombed. And then ABC believed in it and ran it twice a week, which doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then, because TV's all different, and then it went to Fridays, TGIF, which is a very famous thing. And then Step by Step, and oh my goodness.
Family Matters.
Family Matters was one of my faves. Same producers. But this thing, same producers of Fuller House. But it's really fun. You know, it's a longer show. So back in the day, they were 22 minutes long we'd be shooting. These things are like sometimes 35 minutes long. So I'm in a couple of them that come out in December. It's holiday time. And that's the time you share something as sweet as Fuller House. But the thing that's nice about it is that it relates to people and it takes them out of this stuff. It takes them into a place of just pure entertainment so their kids can watch something. Because for God's sakes, with all this stuff going on and all we're talking about, kids are exposed to this. Kids watching the news.
It's true.
I don't want kids watching the news.
Yeah.
I don't want kids in the news.
No, you're right.
But thank you for having me.
Bob Saget, we'll see you next time, my friend. Same here, man.
Really
Take
good
care.
to see you.
Hey, it's the Bennington Show. David, having a hell of a day today, huh, buddy?
Best day of my life. 4 kids were born. Not that big.
Oh, yeah,
Not that big of a deal.
Biggest day.
How do you say your last name?
Javahari.
Javahari.
Yeah, let's not then. Let's not.
Yeah, that's why I skipped it when you said his name. I was like, and David.
Yeah, I told Jen, just skip. Just say Jay.
Bob Saget was really taken with you, but no touching, I noticed. In the,
I touched him. He didn't reciprocate.
He also said we want to look like men. And then he goes, there's too much touching out there. And I get it. There's a lot of hugging that takes place these days.
I didn't really think about it, but I guess if you have a girl involved in the picture, everyone's going to kind of huddle in.
Yeah.
But maybe it's strange if it's just a dude. I haven't really considered that
I think about
before.
this in pictures all the time, particularly when they take a long time to do. I've never stood in a line with other people in my life. And then you just stand like the whole thing of pictures of like, look, we're all together. Look what we're doing. And yet you're in the most uncomfortable, weird thing.
Right. Like you've never taken a picture with your best friends in that manner.
No.
So it's weird.
And that's why I think, remember Taylor Swift got,
T-Swift.
a guy grabbed her ass?
Yep.
It's because they've probably done that too much in their life. They've taken those pictures so much that you're bored and you're like, what could make this better?
Sexual assault.
See, now it's sexual assault. It used to be just a goose, just a slight goose, nothing to take personal. You know, they would said if someone would have got offended, what happened? He pinched. Now,
if somebody would have done that to me when I was taking a picture, I would have been fucking freaked out. I would have done the same thing.
No, but what I'm saying is the way the world has changed, and I don't want to not be politically correct. It's all very important that we rain shit down on everybody. I'm just saying, again, the world has changed so much that what used to just happen now is the most offensive thing, where it becomes sexual assault. Which, when you think about it, can you even have sex with an ass cheek? You know what I mean? How is that different than grabbing the fat of someone's arm, or what Chris is known for, back fat?
Just give it a tug. I don't mind.
You've had guys jerk off on your back before, right?
Well, I woke up once on a New York subway to a man masturbating at me. Like, I woke up. I was passed out in a subway car. I came to.
And he was using you as a visual, I guess?
He was standing above me, and he was just jacking his penis as he was looking down on me. He was a younger gentleman.
You are such a fucking good-looking dude, though. That a couple times I've wanted to do that myself. Now, many, many years ago, a guy used to let us underage drink in a bar, right? He owned a bar, and he would say to you guys are cool. I don't need to see your licenses. You don't need to be on. Sit here and drink with us. And then it was like, we're closing the bar so we can all do coke. Hang around the bar. A friend of mine went to an after party, I guess, at his house and passed out there. And this same gentleman, as he woke up, the guy was trying to pull his dick out, right, on the couch, pulling his dick out. He told me this story, and I laughed my ass off. And I say, you give off that vibe. Never changed anything. In the, you know what I mean?
Right.
We were back partying there. Again, they had conversations. You know, what is it? The story would come up and people would laugh at our friend who I guess now was sexually assaulted. His sexually assaulted. But I guess the guy was a fucking closeted gay. Used to have the most beautiful fucking barmaids. You know, there'd be a bartender, waitress. They were fucking gorgeous. Just a little shitty bar. This is a true story. Saw a cop who used to be the cop in our neighborhood to bust, everybody, doing coke in that bar with a pregnant chick. What? That was about 8.5 months pregnant.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. And then when I was doing my rail, I was thinking to myself, those people are fucked up.
I mean, that bitch is crazy. If you think that she's trying to rationalize it, like, I think all of the major developments is done for the baby. Like, it's
You know
totally
what?
fine.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because I know the girl, she was giving the baby up for adoption.
All
So I
right.
guess she
She's
thought,
like-
whatever, that's going to be somebody else's problem.
That's going to be someone else's
I know what she-
coke baby.
I know what she thought to herself. I want to do a little coke right now. You know what I mean? Why can't I have a little tootsie wootsie? Take care of my problems. But obviously she was in there doing fucking shots and drinking too.
Yeah, clearly.
This is how the years have gone. I'm sure I knew who the father of that kid was, but I can't remember now. Like the biological father.
Right.
I'm sure that little fucking strung out crackhead is doing okay. All right, see, there's the Menendez bribe. The girl standing behind him here, this attractive girl on the left,
Yeah.
she looks like the girl who sang "You Ought to Know" back
Oh,
in
yeah,
the 90s.
Alanis. She does look like Alanis.
Yeah. And here's all right, now we're all talking together. That song was supposedly about the other guy.
Dave
Oh,
Coulier.
yeah.
Dave Coulier, yeah.
That was about Joey.
Yeah, look how much.
Joey? That was his
Yeah.
name?
That looks, yeah.
Yeah, that totally looks like the same person. That's so strange. Is it her?
It'd be
What's
fucking
Alanis
great.
doing there?
It's just going like, Alanis wants to say something. I want you to know. That was almost your Thanksgiving song.
I
huh?
know. I thought about doing that song and then changed kind of last minute.
And then you also thought to do the Patti Smith version of Gloria.
Gloria. And then I just thought, that's a lot. That's a lengthy commitment.
It is a lengthy song, and I think you would have lost that audience.
I know, because it takes you like a good 3 minutes till the crowd gets to yell Gloria. I mean,
I know.
you're like this 3 minutes of like kind of a bizarre journey to Gloria.
You got to be Patti Smith
And
to
then,
pull that off.
exactly. And then eventually you guys are still with me? You guys ready to yell Gloria at the time you're going to yell? Come on, guys.
I think Big J wasn't happy with the way the crowd stared at him. He likes when crowds rock out a little more.
Yeah, I wish that like he didn't feel that way because I think he killed it, and
I thought
everyone
he
said
killed
to
it,
me
too.
how great his song was.
I think they were in shock.
And I think that's really what it is. They were shocked because they had no idea that this was going to turn into a rock show.
I know.
2/3
That
through
might
the
have been
night.
my fault. I'm going to think about it some more, though, because I had this image in my head. There was a movie called The Benny Goodman Story with Steve Allen in it, and I saw it when I was a little kid on TV, on like late night TV. And I remembered this image of the curtain coming up and the orchestra playing, and the crowd went absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, subconsciously, like, how could I recreate that moment? Because I don't know why I kept any of that a secret.
But
from
there was a
listening on.
moment to me that was priceless, and you announced it, and the curtain went up, and Jay had his back to
I know, it was
and
really
he
great wearing a cowboy hat.
like in full costume.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't change that. Like that
I was
so
fucking
fun.
thrilled with that moment.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And it was timed really well. Because remember, we were like, I hope that really times well.
Well, we had worked it out, me and Johnny's people, that
Yeah.
when I used the term Los Angeles, California, that's when the curtain would start coming
Yeah.
up.
It was so good. It was so good.
I
And
know,
the
that was
image
so
of
much
Jay
fun.
standing there, like, I wish I had a picture of that exact moment of like when the curtain
I know,
rose
he was
and his
hysterical.
like back
He's a
to
rock
the
and roll
au-
god.
He really is. He is a true rock god.
No, rock and roll.
Yeah.
He has the role as
Oh, he
well.
has
Not
the role?
everybody does, yeah. But and nothing to take from anyone. But when the Spin Doctor got on
Chris
stage,
Barron like killed it.
Chris Barron had fucking not only a great voice and all, but the moves of a rock god.
Yeah. I mean, really, because I was so excited for that song.
Two Princes?
I was so excited for that song, and it was so much better even than I had imagined
know.
in my mind. Like, I was like freaking out through that whole song.
He fucking went on stage because I said that it was one of the great New York City acts of all time, and he's one of the great frontmen. And then he goes on stage and goes, I heard you bring me up as one of the great New York frontmen. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. He starts being cocky, and I'm like, did I insult him? And then what I figured out, it was just like if you're fucking playing basketball and Jordan comes out, he's going to go, maybe I can make this shot. I don't know. Maybe I can hit one from out here. Oh, I did. Like his confidence
He was
level.
so confident.
Yeah.
Like,
of being a rock and roll guy.
His presence, his like kicks, his like mic work, and
I
like
know.
fucking with the stand. Like, I was like, holy shit.
And I brought them on stage back in the fucking 90s. It was remember we had that aunt that we brought home to die at our house?
Yes.
It was that day that she died. I had to run over and bring out him, the things, and Eddie Money. They were doing a show together. It was like our station's birthday.
Wow.
And I always remember that
Weird.
day, obviously, because, we were doing hospice care for your aunt. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave this. It was a much nicer thing than I thought to be involved in hospice. I don't know whether you guys have ever brought somebody home to die. Much better than at a hospital. And then to go from that to a rock show in the same day, it was a very weird day.
It's very surreal.
Yeah. I thought I'd bring it up to him. But,
You know what you remind me of?
Yeah. Let's go over here to Frankie. Frankie, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, I was at the show and it was phenomenal. The show was amazing. But Ron, you hit it on the head. It was shock. The curtain comes up. There's a friggin' rock band on there, and who is this guy? And you're like, holy shit, that's big. What?
I know.
And he's fucking killing it. And you're like, no, what's going on, man? What the hell? And then
what's going
and it was just
on?
one hit. Yeah, it was one hit after another, and you're just like, I mean, my perception was that it just got crazier and crazier out in the crowd.
Yeah, it did.
It did, yeah.
By Sweet Child of Mine, it was fucking madness.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having us. We had an absolute blast. You guys are.
I don't know how we
You
up
are
it
family.
now. I don't know how we up it.
Yeah.
David,
the problem.
David didn't even come to the show.
I couldn't get tickets. That was,
Yeah, went there for one day, right?
yeah, it turns out you didn't even need tickets. You could have just showed up and snuck in.
There were cases of that, I believe, and that was a Zito problem, right, Chris?
Yeah, for dealing with the crowd, there was a giant line.
But why did he decide? Look, he Woodstocked it. It was like, look, the fences are down. Let everybody in. But why did he do that? I know there was some talk.
He told me to make sure that everyone was in by 8 p.m. so that everyone was in-house ready for the show to start.
But who leaves it up to him to decide? He had zero to do with this event. And how would he get to tell you to make a move like that?
I wasn't at the front. I wasn't in the front area. I was backstage. But after I spoke to him afterwards, he saw the situation. Said that had we checked people in the original way, the show wouldn't have started till around 8:45. That there were so many people on that line all the way down to Next Avenue that he decided to expedite the process. That's what he told me.
But by doing that, he got in more people, and then the place was more packed than some people were expecting.
That I heard about after the show.
Yeah, it was tough to have Chris produce the show and be in it.
Yes, that is not easy. It's
I
not
thought
easy.
about this. I was on stage for just about the full amount of time, and I didn't have one person that I was like, would be like the person who was working with me.
Right.
You know, like normally, if you have a show, you have that one person who's your eyes and ears.
Right.
And I would just look out and grab a different person.
Well-
And like, is this running okay? I'm not
Yes.
backstage at all.
And-
Where's Artie?
There was so many times where I was on the side of the stage, you were center stage, and then I would be getting information from Vito or Jen, and then I'd have to relay that. Like,
Yeah.
Vito said that, blah, blah, blah. Jen said we're on time, and the schedule is going well. So, like, you were getting, like, third, fourth-hand information.
Ba-ba-da-doo. Anyway, it was a blast of a show.
It was so
how
fun.
I've got an idea for 2 different shows to do now, but I'm going to go less as, I'm not going to try to top it in bigness.
Yeah.
I just want to do different type things.
It would be pretty impossible to do something on that scale again. I was thinking that afterwards, there was a little depression. Like when something like that goes well, then you're like, well, no, the next one has to be so much better. How are we going to do it?
I know you can't do that because then you end up fucking pulling off stunts that hurt people.
Right.
I did that with the fucking
Right.
Ron and Ron show. I'm just like, let's throw someone out of a plane and see if they hit the water. And that like bigger doesn't necessarily mean better.
No, it
You know
really
what I mean?
doesn't.
I mean, you couldn't have had a better vibe than that night. And if you just think of the people that killed in their segment, like Big A alone,
I know,
was worth the whole night.
He really was.
And, you know, even though, I mean, he kind of did some gay bashing on me, which I see as sexual assault. He basically sexually assaulted my mouth, the reputation of my mouth.
That's bullying.
Yeah, it is bullying. I was bullied. Florentine's kid, one of the funniest things I ever saw. Florentine's kid was so cocky. How old is Luke?
I don't know.
Man, he's.
Why are you trying to?
I can't believe you turned to the computer.
Just be a fucking person in the moment, dude.
I'm not good at kids' ages from like 5 to 9. I can't separate
boy,
that.
That's what you know. Who says that? Pedophiles.
No, it's just,
when you say I can't tell how old a child is. I know one thing that's changed after. Yeah, you got to be able to make eye contact.
I know.
But I remember being younger, like in high school, right? I would have been able to tell you who were the pretty girls and who were the not pretty girls.
Yeah.
But if I look at high school girls now, they're all pretty. They're
Yeah,
all adorable.
because you see youth and like
Yes.
sweetness and like.
But I would be able to tell you, oh, this one is dateable and that one's not.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, no, you're
now
crazy,
think about
kid.
you do that in like elementary and middle school. You're like, that her? She's busted. She's just like a little girl.
I know. I know.
Like-
I would be like, oh, I couldn't even be seen with that girl. And now I look at that girl and I go, well, she looks exactly like the prom queen. What are you talking about? I think it's in the same way that you lose your taste buds as you get older. When you're younger, there's certain things you can't even put in your mouth.
Right.
You'll get sick from it.
Maybe that's what happens with like the dirty old man syndrome.
Yes.
It's like suddenly all women become fuckable.
Yes.
And so they're just like, oh, I'm interested in any of you ladies.
In the same way as that you use hot sauce as you get older just to taste something.
Yeah.
Right? To have some kind of. So now, as you get older, you need some perverted sex act just to feel anything.
Right.
You know? Like you're like, I gotta fucking hit her with a 2x4. So I know something is happening.
What age does that start?
I'd say 32. 32 is when you say, because you're like, oh, next year I'm the same age as Jesus? Forget about it. It's done. You know, how old are you?
24.
Oh, my God.
25, 25 in a little over a month, December 18th.
December 18th?
Yeah.
It's a weird birthday. Why is that day familiar to me?
I don't know.
What day was John Lennon killed? Was that like...
That's in December, but
Yeah.
It's not my birthday. I know. I share a birthday with a few famous people that I'm excited about.
Who?
Brad Pitt, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I think Steven Spielberg.
And you're the worst person on your birthday.
I know it's not a great like.
I don't know why you would want to have people that have a better life than you.
I know.
share a birthday.
Like,
Yeah.
it'd actually be better to find out, like, you're like, yeah, there's some C-listers, but
Hitler.
I'll probably be the most famous person on my birthday.
Hitler and Queen Elizabeth are actually my birthday.
Who is?
Queen Elizabeth and Hitler. Same day.
Really?
That's odd. That's a fuck because you come off with a kind of a Hitler vibe.
You do, yeah.
But also
Trying to play that down. when I was in here.
but also impeccable way of with drinking coffee like Queen Elizabeth.
Your leadership skills were just so strong.
You probably could take people in the wrong direction, no matter what.
Right.
You're
Starts
just
off like a good idea, and then you take a little
You're
too
like
far.
the Jedi with the Force, like it could go either way.
Why is Jen running around like that?
I don't know what she just ran out of the studio. I'm texting her, but
She's right there. I can see her. She ran down to get a copy. It's like a fax came in that was so important. Send her all the way in. Send her in here. I want to dish with her a little bit.
She didn't come back with the paper.
What do you think? She was getting a post?
Chris, you don't need to yell at her. It's not that serious.
Dude, that kind of shit that you're doing now is like sexual assault.
I don't want to assault anymore.
I just got a text.
Was he yelling at you?
I just saw him yell.
Not yet.
This is a safe place. Don't you dare. Don't you dare make fucking excuses for that Weinstein. By the way, you know what bugs me about the... Look at that cute girl was just staring in here.
I don't know who that was.
She works here.
Does she?
Yeah.
See if she'd like to be sexually fucking pushed around by a radio legend. The other thing about this me about the Harvey Weinstein is why does everyone have to bring up weight with him? You know what I mean? They're just like this fat pig.
Yeah, but once you do something really bad, then the floodgates open. That's what happens.
But that's bullying. That's literally how a bully thing happens.
They also call him ugly. They call him like an ugly fat pig monster.
Yeah, like if he was attractive, he could have gotten away with all these things.
Yeah, the guy from Gossip Girl said that he has a couple rapes under his belt, but no one's fucking attacking him because he's like a hot young dude.
Wait, he said that about himself?
No, he's had multiple people said he's gonna. He was raped.
The way you phrased it was like, "Look, I'm pretty hot. I get away with raping people."
Let's see what he looks like before we get into this.
Is this Ed Westwick, Chris?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, it's Ed Westwick.
Look at Jen. She's so good now.
I mean,
I know.
he wasn't the main guy. in
She
Gossip
killed it.
Girl.
Let me say. Oh, he's attractive
Yeah.
enough. I mean, if I had to be raped.
I'm not even sure. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure I'd know I was being raped.
See, I felt that way about
And then I'm like,
Weinstein.
Yeah, I don't want it.
They said he has a penis that tastes like a chocolate eclair.
This dude couldn't rape me if he tried.
I think his eyes are too small.
That's why I like him. Like,
Oh,
he's like
really?
a snake.
I think his eyes look
Slits.
like little piss holes in the snow.
That's
Look
a
at him.
sexy one.
Well, that looks like Brando.
Yeah, he does
Before
look
you
like
went complete white out on us.
Yeah,
that
that
looks
does
like
look
a
like-
young Marlon Brando.
It does. What is it? The eyes or the brow or something? I don't know what it is, but he does look like Brando there.
He also looks like the singer from that island band. What are they called? Like fucking. I'm just going to call them Fantasy Island.
Future Island.
Future Island. There you go. You know that guy has a
Yeah,
Brando look too.
He does.
So, Jen, what was the paper you were running off to get? There was like a.
Oh, that was a plug
Oh, for who?
for post show.
Mm.
Yeah.
Post show. I'll tell you this. I'm going to be out of here post show. I'll be gone by 3:01. Oh yeah, that's the guy from Lonely Island.
Future Island.
Oh yeah, Lonely Island is
That's
that other band.
Joe's
We got
band.
a boat. We got a boat, motherfucking got a boat.
I used to dance to that song on top of a bar every night, and then I used to have to take I'm on a boat, and then I used to have to take a stack of plastic cups and throw them into the audience like they were semen.
I get it.
So like you like when it was like I'm on a boat, like you would like jerk off the cups. And
Did
then,
somebody teach you that?
Yeah, it was part of the training. It was like, all right, when we're doing I'm on a boat.
That is so strange.
Okay, so when we're doing on a boat,
I hate dude fucking bro bars, and that's what he was. It was in the dude bro bar of all time.
it was the most college bar you could ever go to, and after like 2 years of doing it, it was a fucking lot. It was every night just jumping on top of a bar and being like, you're not up there for bye. You just, do you not even want to be here?
Dude, don't yell at us.
Yeah. It's not our fault.
It's a fucking safe zone.
It's not our fault you're coming cups for a living.
Well, it was good money. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sure, it's good money if you suck cock at the bus station. You can put away some decent money for that. That isn't the fucking point.
Take that into consideration.
Oh man, I forgot to tell you guys this. So before the show,
What show? This
the
one?
Thanksgiving show.
Okay.
Before the Thanksgiving show, I had decided I was going to go get my face done. I got my hair done. I did like
you
the
look
works.
nice that night.
Which I've never done that before. I've never like gone to have someone like do professional makeup for me. And so the girl does my eyes. She's like really happy with the way it came out. And she's like, would you mind if I take a picture of you? Because like I really like what I did with your eyes. I was like, yeah, of course. So she puts me, by, you know, those like one of those circle lights that like they use, like YouTubers use, and it makes everyone look beautiful.
Oh, I didn't know about that, but
yeah,
okay.
I'll show it to you. But it's like a light that makes everyone look attractive. You can't be unattractive in this light. It's really strange. So she puts the light near my face. She has me like look down so she can see my eyes. And she takes a picture. She goes, "Oh my God, look at this." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I was like, "Would you send that to me?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." And she opens her text and texts it to me. Giant fucking dick pic. The last thing that was sent to her was her man's fucking massive, veiny dick. And it was like, immediately we went, oh! And she was like, "Oh my God, that didn't happen." Because she's at work and she has this fear, like, I'm going to go tell her manager. And I'm just dying laughing. Just dying. And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just opened my last text."
Could you get her to send me a picture of that dick pic? All right, let me see a picture of you though in that light.
I will show you the picture. I didn't ask her to send me the dick pic. I just
Too bad. The fact that it was massive now has me
It was like ridiculous. It looked like a weapon.
But you could actually call that sexual assault now. That's where we are.
That's what she was afraid of.
Yeah, that light is weird. And you're wearing Ian Finance.
Yeah, that's before I changed for the night because I didn't want to get makeup on my shirt, so I was wearing my Ian Finance shirt.
Was it erect?
Yeah, it was erect. Of course it was erect.
Right, Vito.
That's what
I just said it was giant, throbbing, veiny dicks. Like, you think it's going to be like flaccid?
Maybe halfway. I don't know.
Dude, just what you brought up has made this a violent workplace.
I wouldn't want to make it a violent workplace.
Yeah, why don't you start throwing cups on her right now?
The cup phase is over in my life.
The fact that you said is Iraq, we could take you to fucking HR for.
Yeah.
Jen, I hope you didn't hear any of his disgusting
That was
misogynistic
gross.
stuff.
Just look, when you look at this picture, this is a person who's a moment away from seeing a giant dick. It's like I didn't even know that. I was so innocent then.
And about when she went home and told him that story, he got turned on.
Yeah.
Yeah, did it bring out fear in her? Did she stand before my mighty penis? Bow down to this.
I just love that it was like noon, you know, it was like really early for a dick pic. I mean, I guess there's not.
Is there a time
I don't
in
know
it?
if there's like a time that's
Noon's prime dick pic time.
I would have said 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like, oh, we're not together right now, but it's night and I'm thinking about you and I'm touching my. This was just like 12:30. It was like really early.
With all this sexual assault stuff coming out, how come we're not seeing more dick pics? Because dick pics have gone out. Like when the phone first had a camera on it, the next day there was 1 million dick pics sent.
Yeah. I told you, like, before I ever even had pics messaging available on my phone, a friend of mine did, and she received a dick pic, which just was, like, not even a term yet.
Right.
And she was just like, "Dude, you know that guy?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "He just sent me, like, a picture of his dick." And we're like, "What? Like a picture? Why? Did you ask him for it?" She's like, "No. Just like he just sent it to me." I mean, the concept was crazy, and little did we know this would become the culture of the world. That we were like,
the thing is, it's so weird. In the 70s, when I was a kid, I used to mail Polaroids of my cock through the U.S. mail to different women, and I had my time, really.
And you can imagine they're like, "Oh, what is this? A holiday greeting card? Oh my God!"
Mom, would you open that mail for me? I'm washing dishes right now in the zinc. The zinc, Vito. That's what we'd say in Philly. People would say zinc.
That's what my boyfriend's family says, zinc. In the zinc.
My cousin Flossie always said zinc. Put that in the zinc, would you? Zinc? Fucking crazy bastard.
I was just like, anytime that somebody has like a strange pronunciation because of where they're from, it's just like, and spell that word. Now say that word.
Yeah.
Spell it again. Like you're aware of the spelling of this word, but you're still going to say zinc.
Hon, is there smoke coming out of the chimney? Take a look at the chimney. There's a bunch of smoke coming out of there. Chimney.
Chimley. Yeah, it's very common in that area. I don't know why, but they just all decided Chimley. Or here's one that I just think is strange. So there is a grocery store chain in that area.
Acme.
It's Acme. It's literally 4 letters. I'm not sure how an entire region just says, let's add an A in the middle of this. It's the Acme.
Go to the Acme, get me a coloring book and some crowns. All right, thanks. And get a whole case of Cokes. All right, we're going to smoke and drink Cokes. Fucking crazy bastards. The other day, I'm at this stand. I'm talking to this 2 fucking gorgeous but tough girls from Philly. Like, you could tell they are ready to throw down if they have to, right? And for some reason, she brings up water ice, right? And I said to everybody, I go, well, everyone here knows it as Italian ice. And she goes, yeah, it's not the same up here. I go, no, it's exactly the same. You just call it water ice. But no, there's no, it's made by the same company. Honey, go get me a water ice down here. Give me a cherry. I want a cherry water ice. We're going out on a houseboat. It's a house and a boat. Houseboat. We're getting in the last hour. We got to think of stuff for David to do because he's like Gene Simmons. That was a fun moment for him.
Started off so high with Gene Simmons. I don't know.
I know.
Well, Mumford and Sons, fucking Vito ended up taking a kick to the belly so that you could get the Gene Simmons pick.
It was all worth it for you, but I'm gonna fucking hold that against Gene Simmons for the rest of my life.
I just got twirled.
You got twirled? I got a lobby full of people laughing at me.
We all were. With the laughers.
And it wasn't just people who knew me. It was like random people like standing around Liam.
Yeah. But I will say this. You're making fun of Mumford and Sons. Dude, you're in fucking Kiss. You know what I mean? You're in the punch line fucking band of all time.
I mean, the guy wears flannel. I mean, you go out in full costume. And like
Guar.
Yeah, but they were there before Guar. You got to give them credit for that.
Yeah.
John in New England.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
It's none of your business, John.
All right. Just going back to the sexual assault stuff and the worst things you've woken up to.
Okay.
About your little friendly owner down there, Ron.
Yeah.
One of my buddies, we all had a pretty close friend group at an all-guys high school. We were very comfortable with each other. He goes to a southern school. His fraternity brothers get close. And I learned about this at his wedding, on the wedding day, why it was so awkward to have all the best men, or all the groomsmen together in the same room. Turns out, and he hadn't told us until that day, that one of the groomsmen, he woke up to him with a Sharpie in hand, coloring his dick blue.
Oh.
Was it a joke, or was this guy just turned on by a fucking blue cock?
It was supposed to be a joke, but apparently the guy was very proud of his work and was upset that the friend was upset.
Yeah, people are fucking nuts.
They call that smurfing.
Smurfing. That's a fucking good line. Chris, put that in the promo. Chris,
that's in the promo.
That. Who are you talking to, man, instead of us? What's going on? Why
are you yelling?
Who are you yelling at?
I was talking to a listener who called up. They hadn't gotten their prize from last week for correcting me for a fuck up, so I was getting their information to make sure they got their prize.
Yeah, put that on the air. I like when you get in trouble on the air.
Gotcha.
Isn't that every day?
Oh, hey, guess what, John? Pretty good prize.
Yeah, I hope you get it.
I'll take your information, John.
Maybe it won't take him 9 months.
Yeah, wait 9 months for that.
He fucks up so bad. He's just a total fuck up.
For me, the whole time was funny, that whole 9 months, because I knew in the back of my mind it was Chris Stanley that's keeping me from coming on this show. It was, I was like, that's even better than coming on the show.
You get to see that the stuff that sounds like it's made up is 100% true.
It's really real.
And people will think, oh, that's Chris's character. No, he's not creative enough to make a character for himself. That's just him. It's like pointing it out is all we could do. Well, look at the other day when he was supposed to play that character in the Almost Famous parody.
That was the funniest thing.
I couldn't start because he had one line to do and was so over the top that I would just end up cracking up. And then Vito had one line and was nailing it.
He nailed it. He totally killed it.
And that was making Chris furious that we were all like, oh, that's good.
Because the more we laughed, the louder and angrier Chris got. We couldn't even respond. Like, we have to play that at some point of us trying to practice that because that shit was so funny. We were really dying.
Well, that wasn't practicing. That was just the opening attempts. We like to just do it on one take. So, yeah, those weren't practice takes. Those were takes. And then you were mad that Vito was good at his thing?
Oh, furious. So pissed off.
But why would that make you mad? You know you're not an actor, so that's something.
I still just want to be better than Vito. That's all.
Is there anything that you would say that you're better at Vito at?
Movie trivia. That's for damn sure.
Keep biting on that one, man.
And dancing.
No, that's a fucking
no. That one's not
that one we'll never give you. I'm sorry.
I'm actually like I'm really happy and proud of my dance ability because as a big guy, I never thought I'd be able to move like that.
You're graceful. You are a graceful large man.
Thank you. It's why me and Ron are working on the O-line thing.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You want to take me to be an O-lineman? I thought we were working on this.
Okay.
I was really looking forward to it.
I thought the O-line was a fucking dance troupe. I'm like, hold on. I didn't know that you meant offensive line. No, I want you as the Blind Side. I want you as the big retarded kid from Blind Side. He's my favorite of all time because he's too stupid to know. And then later the guy's like this. I went to college. Why are they portraying me this
That's
way?
so horrible.
I get it that I'm large and black, but I'm also a college graduate. And I have a bed. Then he actually says this. I also have a family that loves me. I lived with them because they were paying us to go to that high school.
I remember him being really pissed that he had a bed his whole life, and he was like, "I don't know why they added this."
He had a bed and a family that cared about him and was looking out for him. But they found out he could go to a better school if he went there and played football.
Yeah, and then he went to the Chewy family's college too.
Yeah, Ole Miss, right?
Yeah,
that where they went? Ole Miss?
I think it was Ole Miss. It was either Ole Miss or Bama, but I think Ole Miss.
No, it definitely wasn't Bama. I was thinking it could either been Ole Miss or
it's Ole Miss.
Yeah,
thank you,
Michael Oher.
Is he still playing?
No, he's a
Big
free
Mike.
agent.
Was he really called Big Mike at least?
It was like saying Big J. Was he really called Big J? And all you have to do is be big and you're going to get that name. You know? Hey, look who it is. Although no one ever calls you Big Vito.
No, nobody calls.
And you're bigger than Big J.
Sometimes I'll get Big V, but not a lot. And then sometimes my least favorite thing is when somebody doesn't know my name and they say, "Hey, big man," because it's just a polite way of saying, "Hey, fat guy."
Would you rather we call you fat guy?
No,
fat guy.
No, I would not like to be called fat guy. Just big man is
How about Fatty Large? You want that one?
I don't know. Fatty Large seems just as bad as
What
fat
about
guy.
lard ass, lard ass, lard
And then
ass?
you
a chant.
And then when you come running out, you're like on your way there.
That could be your thing.
A long fart?
Yeah.
Do I make it with my mouth or with my butt?
Oh, come on, dude. Stop trying to fucking put yourself down as a way of getting in with us. It goes too far.
Be your own best friend.
Be able to talk about something other than your own weight. So. And please go on the 1 hour diet where there's 1 hour a day that you're not eating. So we could change out some things. We could use that as a time to fucking take out the trash, clean the grill.
Be a tough hour to choose.
All right, stop. Just stop going with the bit and start fucking caring about yourself. That's what I'm saying. Lard.
Fuck you.
Who do you think would win a foot race between the two of you?
Oh, I'd crush him.
No, he wouldn't. He can't breathe.
Who was more blown up after that event? Maybe that's why you're sick, because you're dancing the other night.
Possibly. I don't. And the constant smoking. I'm almost up to 2 packs a day.
You still smoking that much?
Yeah.
Or is this coughing taking you out?
I'm still smoking this much. I'm starting to think maybe I'll cut down. Just try to get healthy.
How much would you cut down to? A pack and a half?
I go to like, I'd say like 25 cigarettes a day. That's what I jumped down to.
Yes, I understood that. Pack and a quarter. I'm up to a pack and a quarter. So right now you have 40 cigarettes a day.
40 cigarettes a day, yeah.
You can't even do anything else with the rest of your day.
No, I mean, I go
And
down.
that's with you, that you're basically in a non-smoking area for 12, 14 hours a day.
Once I hit the air, it's just fucking on.
I know,
nonstop.
I'm
You see
with
me.
you outside.
It's just fucking constant. I'm just one after another.
So it's just like, because I remember that when I was a smoker, like you associate fresh air with smoke, which is
I
really
don't.
bad. It's nice to like have unmarried those two things in my mind.
I like that smoker. Like if when you're in a crowded bar and smokers like have the luxury if they have a reason to go outside and like just be away from that for a second. Sometimes I'll just go out and stand with my friends while they smoke.
That's like was a really difficult thing about quitting smoking, is that like you always had this thing that you'd be like, I'll be back in a minute, and sometimes you just like didn't want to be in a situation, you just needed a moment to yourself.
You say that, and any smoker would give that up to smoke inside. No smokers want to go outside.
Right, that's
and
true.
smoke.
Yeah.
They much rather smoke wherever they are.
Yeah.
And when I started radio, we just had ashtrays in front of it. Everybody would, and there was no windows, and we would just smoke cigars all day in
That must
Florida.
have been great.
We were on top of the world. We actually said to ourselves, we don't know how long this golden age is going to last. But let's enjoy.
It's weird that you had a sense of it, though.
We were on top of it. I remember when they said that, you know, it would be like, coming up in 6 months, you're not going to be able to smoke on a plane. Everybody was like, that'll never happen.
People won't fly.
People need to smoke on a plane. They're nervous.
Yeah. That was like a big thing to any travel. I remember once I was taking a train from DC to New York, and I had my cousin with me, and we both were smokers.
Yeah.
And like, I think that somebody, like this conductor, had said we were allowed to like step off and smoke a cigarette, but we didn't know that when he said that, like, it's literally like 60 seconds.
Yes.
So we jumped off and then had to like snuff out a cigarette as we were walking on the train. You know how like that's actually the worst smell? Like a snuffed out, like half.
Yeah.
And like people were like coughing. And we're like, oh my God, we're going to get kicked off of this fucking train. But yeah, I was like, I can't commit to that much time.
The cut off cigarette is not only the worst smell, but whenever you like light one of those back up, that just the taste is just the worst.
Why would anyone relight a fucking cigarette?
I got friends who are struggling.
That's fucking horrific. So they're smoking butts.
So like they'll be smoking a cigarette and be like, oh, I got to get in this cab, clip
No,
it, and then when they get out the cab, they start smoking it again.
They're not clipping it because they don't have a cigar clip with them.
Well, I mean, like clipping it like they like rub it on the side.
Yeah,
of the
that's
cab.
not clipping.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And it never comes back to life. It's always vile.
Yeah.
Rich in Nevada.
What's up, Ronnie B? $1 million, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I know you're a big rock doc guy. There's a new one with a guy named Terry Cass. I don't think you're a real big Chicago fan, but this guitar player, according to Jimi Hendrix, was one of the best ever.
Jeez, why do we have to hear that about everybody with Jimi Hendrix, right? Supposedly he said about the guy from ZZ Top.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just Hendrix was like, he's one of the best, no matter who he's talking about.
No, in all seriousness, this guy, I mean, he's amazing, and I think you'd really love the documentary. It's old Chicago before they got all poppy and junk.
Yeah, they still suck.
But no, they were actually good way back when. I think you'd really love it.
I'll watch any rockumentary, but I can't make the case that the band Chicago was ever good at any time. They were always big with kids in high school bands.
Yeah, I don't think I know. I don't know any. I definitely don't know any Chicago deep tracks. Like I don't even think I've ever listened to a Chicago record.
No sense in it. You weren't in a high school band. If you would play trombone when you were 14, you're like, these guys are amazing.
Right.
These guys are the best ever. So I'm going to watch this. What's it on? Chris, did he say?
He did not say, but I'll Google it.
Of course you will. You and fucking Vito can't wait to sit around and Google things.
Google boys.
All I hear with either one of you is just constant typing and tapping.
Access TV, Ron. That's what this thing is.
Don't scream at me. Access TV. That means I got to put out another $9 a month.
Yeah.
That's where the Gotham comedy nights or whatever on that. They actually do have a lot of rockumentaries on there.
Does Mark Cuban own that channel?
Yeah. For now. Doesn't seem like he's doing well. Well, he just got rid of his independent fucking theater chain, you know?
What was his chain?
The only independent theater chain that was in the city and
Oh,
in
really?
every fucking town. What are they called?
I don't know. I'm looking it
Oh,
up.
God. Can't fucking be in a conversation with people these days. If I wanted to look it up, I would.
Landmark.
Oh, Landmark. Oh, wow. They just opened up a new one on 57th Street under that giant pyramid building.
What giant pyramid?
You have so on the river. There's this giant building.
Which what river?
On the Hudson on 57th
Why would I be
Street.
way over at 57th on the fucking Hudson?
You want to check out the Intrepid, the Javits Center?
Seriously, I never find myself there. Never.
Man's land.
I mean, the other day while I was going to the Intrepid,
I live over there, so I see
I
it
might
every
as
day.
well fucking go to Jersey if I'm that far over.
The West Side's
you know
nice.
what? I'd rather dive in. The West Side has nothing.
so what do you say? They put a Luxor there? Or what is
There's
it?
a giant pyramid building on the river. It's called Via 57th Street, and there's a Landmark Theater in the lobby of the building.
Let's see if anyone cares.
How giant is this pyramid?
It's fucking big, dude. Can I show you guys a picture of it?
Of course, type away, prick. Type away. Who's this coming up the hall with like a fucking cool hat on?
She's Heather B's assistant.
What's that whole story?
Everyone's got cool hats today.
I
Like I've
know.
seen so many good hats
That's
today.
very stylish.
I remember Erica Badu had a great hat. Like there was
always.
Oh, you know what? I have seen this thing from when you're coming into the city.
That's on 57th.
Wait, is that like a negative space there?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's weird.
It's like a hack tourist building.
Thought it would have been bigger.
It's pretty fucking big, dude.
huge.
Why would you have any thoughts about it? That thing could have been 3 stories for all I know. I didn't have a single thought. I didn't have any expectation of what I wanted that to be. Now I wish we were downstairs smoking.
Wait, isn't that weird? He said he's like by the river, but like to me and you, like when I say the river, I always mean the East River. And if I'm talking about the Hudson, I will say the Hudson.
Yeah, the Hudson is like a bay to me.
Yeah.
Because the East River, at least you could fucking, you feel close to the other side.
Yeah.
The Hudson is like, oh, what is that over there? Europe? How fucking far are we looking?
We got the beautiful bike path over there.
Oh, really? See how that works out with ISIS. Anyone who takes that fucking bike path is taking their life into their own hands.
Why would he bring up the bike path?
I know. What a fucking time. Beautiful? You think it's beautiful to see bikes strewn all over? Oh, horrible.
There's other landmarks across that highway. We got the North River Lobster Co. We got the Circle Line. Have you ever been on the Circle Line?
Why would I? I live here.
I've never either, but I know it's a popular place. The Beast. You ever been on the Beast?
There's a bowling alley down there too, if you want to.
You ever been in the M&M store? You get all the M&Ms you want.
I think there's the giant Hustler building and the bowling alley
Yeah.
right next to each other.
Yeah.
What is the last New York touristy thing that you've done? Either because you took someone or you're like, hey, it's been years since I went to this place. But what was like the last touristy
Now, that's a
thing?
great fucking question.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the museums. Like,
Right.
I will be like, oh, yeah, here we are at MoMA. You know?
It's been ages for me. It's been a really long time. Although I think I might this Christmas take my boyfriend's mom to see the Rockettes.
Because that's a great show.
I know. She's never seen it.
You know what I call that? Precision.
Precision.
That's just precision. The Rockettes will come in here. I know people who have like a sexual Rockette fantasy.
Like they're like, oh, I want to be with a Rockette.
Yes,
Any Rockette.
And then I always say this to them, well, then you'll love a sex doll because they look the same.
Do they still have the measurements? Are they still doing that? Or is that...
They, I think they had to physically not be able to do that the last
Yeah.
couple of years because they even had a color thing.
I know. When I was a kid, they were still doing you had to be a certain tone so
Right.
everyone looked the
You
same.
could be light black.
And then it was like, oh.
Let's face it, guess who could get in?
She looked so proud. She's like, I could be.
Do you ever have...
light enough to be a Rockette?
Do you ever get black people that get mad because that you're lighter skinned?
Yeah. Well, when I was little, more.
What would they say?
Well, they wouldn't like directly be like, like light, say
Yeah.
something about light skinnedness. But when I would date like me and darker girl. We're going after the same guy. I would hear from him that she would be pissed off, and it's like, oh, you just want a lighter chick. Yeah,
I know. I wasn't even aware of that since the Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
What's the name of that movie?
School Days?
School Days. You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's crazy good. And it brought up a thing of light skin versus black. And
it still goes on now.
Yeah.
And I always say this, what are you talking about? You're all minorities. You know what I mean? Gather together. You mean the same to us.
I've heard an argument between my two friends where one of them said to the other one, stop acting so light-skinned.
Where'd you hear this? Over on the fucking Hudson? Mighty Hudson?
Or did you call the river?
Down to the river. Fucking Hudson boy. The other Hudson was supposed to get all these... it was supposed to get all these TV broadcasting studios over there where the old train yards are.
Yeah.
Instead, they're just putting in apartment after apartment.
Yeah. That was going to be the Jet Stadium for a little. They were going to put some cool...
That would have been a bad mistake. Just to put a fucking football stadium over there.
Like the MSG after a Knicks game or a concert is like bad enough, and that's what 18,000 people. If there was a 50,000 person football stadium in the middle of the city, it would be a disaster.
Doesn't make sense. It's not a good idea.
I mean, I can see if you want to put something in the Bronx,
right?
Yeah, or
maybe.
Queens.
Yeah, far Queens.
Yeah, Far Rockaway would be perfect for the stadium
on the beach.
Ooh.
Look how bored David's got. Like when he first got here, he's like, "This is great. We're all in the air together." Now I just see him look like this, like.
I mean, it's
shit go on
3 hours. I mean,
I know.
I don't know how you do it every day here.
You know, the fact is, most of my career I did 4, and now that seems like the dumbest idea ever. Because the last hour was really just fucking crazy talk.
Yes, you would probably just be exhausted by that point. It is a long time to be consecutively talking.
You wouldn't talk this much in your real life? Like if
I probably do. I probably do, which is why this transition was not a big deal for me. But remember when we used to do double Benningtons?
Oh yeah,
I mean that was like starting hour number 4, even after a break. We would start hour 4 at noon. And that was already weird. So you could imagine how weird it progressed.
Well, that's
from
the
there.
beauty of this, though. You can get nuts and do a good show.
Right.
Like you just start babbling bullshit. And people are like, oh, man, that was great. Remember when
what happened?
You were crying and saying you'll never find the right person? Great radio. You were screaming at your producers, saying you were going to cut their fucking hearts out and shove it down their throats. Great radio.
I think it was the WNEW days. You were on for like 14 hours straight for like a couple months there.
Yeah, we loved it. Well, they fired everybody but us. It was seriously like being on a pirate ship that everyone was dead. And even like all the offices were empty. You know, because people were all shame fired too. Like, you let them fuck in a church, you're done here. Like people that had nothing to do with it,
right.
You know, just got fired. Whose idea to fuck in a church?
Did you pitch this?
I was like, we had no idea. I mean, not even the slightest idea. Yeah, we're going to do that.
You're all fired.
Yeah, they were firing. Well, you know what they were doing is like they were firing up the ladder. Like anybody who had a big enough job that was in jeopardy would fire everybody below them. And then that person would get fired because they're like, there's somebody above them.
Right.
And it was going all the way up as far as you could go. To finally, I think the President of the United States was in trouble. It really was a bad idea. Whoever came up with it, it was like one of the worst ideas I ever heard of.
Like, I understand why you bring it up, but that seems like one that shouldn't get past the meeting. Dude, like, what about this? And I might be crazy.
Why would you even say let people go out in fucking public? Like, it could happen at a diner and you could be fired.
Right.
But then not even a church, a cathedral? the most beloved, iconic Catholic church in a nation where that's the biggest thing. Like, my dad had it in his local Catholic paper.
Right.
He brought it up to me. I'm like, fuck, it's all the way down here. He's like, yeah, mentioning their names. What was everyone thinking? I'm like, I don't know, man. It was funny. Everybody was having so much fun that day.
Did they get in trouble for the bus thing before that?
Well, the bus.
What was the bus again?
The bus. I was on there. It was the voyeur bus. So they had naked girls.
Oh, right. Just topless girls, right?
Now, you were allowed to do it, but they came up with any local law, right? And they pulled them over. They arrested, I believe, Norton. Maybe Lewis Black, I think, was on the air at the time. Because I remember we were on the air going, we think we got some lawyers that are heading, you know what I mean?
Right.
We were like trying to help out. And then some listeners were like keeping an eye on them because they had friends in the prison thing. But what they did is they fucking dismantled that bus looking for, I don't know what, contraband. So they just tore it apart physically.
Yeah.
And then said, here's the parts back if you want your bus. Put it together and off you go. I don't think the bus ever ran again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it just like glass? Like they were behind the glass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a wide open. But that's the thing is, like, you can walk down the streets in New York with your titties out.
You can. Yeah. That's
Not
why
a lot of people do it, but the people who do it, you know.
Like I know that in what is it? Fort Tilden is a topless beach. You know, like near the Rockaways. But really, you can be
I've seen
topless.
people in Central Park laying
Yes.
out topless.
So you can do
and
it
bottomless.
Yeah. You can do it completely topless, I think, on any beach, but it's more like they're like, hey, we
But
make
you
it
can
clear
walk
that
down the
this-
street topless.
Yeah.
Because if a guy can do it, a woman can do it.
Right.
But if you saw that thing in the Deuce, right? There was a situation where they said, okay, pornography is up to the local moral code, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the courts in New York figured out there is no moral code to, you know what I mean? There's no bottoming out in
Right.
New York City. Just like, if you live there, it's like being a peeping Tom is not illegal in New York City because there's just too many fucking windows.
It's just everywhere. I mean, then any time you're on the bridge, you would be a peeping Tom.
Right.
Because the amount of times I've just seen people like changing while I was on like the Queensboro Bridge,
I've
like
seen that a
coming
lot
in.
too. Yeah, but we would have we had a building where people used to just bang in the fucking thing all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and our interns would yell, "All right, they're fucking," and everybody was, "Oh, we're gonna take a break." And you just walk over and watch these people have sex. That's New York City. That's the fucking mighty Hudson.
Or the river, as we call it.
I'm not an East River guy. I like the tram though. That's my favorite part of the East Side.
Well, why can't the Hudson get a fucking tram? You ever watched that movie, The Professional? Had Gary Oldman in it.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, watch it, and they take the tram, and it looks like they end up in South Jersey. It looks like the tram just runs all the way down the shore.
What is the other one? I think it was like in City Slickers too.
Yeah, he was on the tram.
He's taking the tram to work, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of, you can tell it doesn't really make sense.
Well, it
where
doesn't make sense that he would go from Queens and drop his car off in fucking Roosevelt Island,
Right.
and then get on the tram.
Exactly.
It's just a movie, though. You never watch any chase scene in a New York movie.
Yeah, what's
You're like,
the one you had me watching? There's like, I think it's even like on horseback at
It's
some
Cowboy
point.
Way is the name of it. Starring the incredibly great Kiefer Sutherland in his last film thing. After that, he was on and just forced to be on TV for the rest of his career. That's how bad this movie is. And also Woody Harrelson was in it. But it was just a chase scene that took place in a half a block of every different neighborhood
Yeah.
in New York.
Like it would just be like by Central Park, but then clearly they're in Chinatown, and
Yeah,
then a
and then
minute
Battery
later
Park.
they're like, yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Well, I've never seen, despite how many times I've seen it in the movie, I've never seen the cops on a fucking car pursuit in Manhattan because you can only go a block before you're stopped anyway.
I don't know
There's
how.
no reason to think you can outrun the cops in New York.
You can't outrun anything. You are going to be in trouble. If it's at least one block, you're going to hit traffic.
All right, the T-shirts are out. The Bennington family T-shirts are out. Vito's going to tell you, how do you get them?
You can either go to @Bennington Show on Twitter, or you can go to BenningtonShow.com. And that's where you buy the shirts.
That's your pitch?
Well, they're great. I mean, they're great shirts. They're going to be great Christmas presents, birthday presents, Thanksgiving presents.
What size shirt do you wear?
Me, I wear a XXL.
You're bullshitting.
I wear a XXL.
There's no way you're going to fit into a XXL.
I can fit into a XXL. My
like a sausage inside the casing.
My
European cut XXL.
My outfit the other night was a XXL. I was really happy with myself about it. A little snug.
I thought you guys were going to stay with that Adidas tracksuit thing. Instead, you've picked over to the brawny look between the two of you.
I know.
You guys look like you're selling paper towels on the street.
I've had this look for much longer than he has. He's ripping me off.
I know, but you're right. The tracksuit was a very comfortable look for both of them.
And according to Chris Stanley, you thought it was very slimming on you.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It was very slimming. Because I'm a medium, So I'm trying to get down to that small, Ron.
He couldn't zipper his thing up. It was open the whole time.
I'll zipper you up.
That's called his cock. He had a tearaway. He didn't need anything else.
No, but his jacket was open the entire time.
I didn't notice that.
He is bay up top, I mean?
Yeah.
He's chesty. You're not, right?
Yeah.
You have a small fucking chest for a man your size.
I have a pretty good sized chest. I can bench pretty good amount of weight.
It just seemed like that you're built like a slice of pizza. Like you,
I have
very pointy. You get wider and wider. You're like a Christmas tree look.
I do have a very like triangular, but like my legs don't look. I don't have the legs of like a fat guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's put them out there.
Let's see.
But they're muscular.
What are you doing?
I just want everybody to see my legs.
God, this is why he's so difficult to deal with. It's all about his physicality or what he's up to. You don't speak about anything out of the news. You have no interest except for self.
Do you have any news interest
It makes
right
you
now?
the exact opposite of a broadcaster. You're a narrowcaster.
There's something in the news that I thought was pretty interesting I'd like to share with you guys. There's a guy who's identifying as transracial right now.
All right, you're fucking really trying to rain shit on us.
Race baiter.
You understand that walking that fucking thin line is the worst thing we could do in the business right now? I'm just going to say I believe in everything this young man's trying to, or woman, is trying to accomplish or not accomplish.
Well, his name is Adam. He was born a white man, but he identifies as a Filipino man.
Is he just fucking with everybody?
Very specific.
Yeah, very specific. He even has a different.
Does he have Filipino friends?
No, but he wants to live as a Filipino man and has his own name in Filipino.
But why can't? Then yeah, go ahead and do it. No one can stop you.
But I feel like you could just go live in the Philippines if you wanted to.
Dude, your fucking superior white racism is disgusting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Chris?
You don't understand.
Yes.
Take this to HR.
We'll do. Done. We're going to have an HR meeting at 3:30 today.
Don't you realize even bringing up this topic, you put the entire show in jeopardy?
I'm not trying to put the show
We
in.
never know how we're going to end up on the wrong side of history.
I'm just
I got
trying
fucking Breitbart on one side. I got fucking HuffPo on the other. I'm trying to please them both.
I'm just trying to tell you guys about Jadu. That's his name.
I know that you made that name
Nope,
up.
I did not. He's going by the name Jadu.
I'm not even listening to you.
And he can if he wants to.
Or can't. Whatever we want to line up politically with you, the listener.
By the way, you said this is a man. This person identifies as a woman.
See the fucking trouble you get
I
into.
just
that.
saw it underneath.
Okay, well, when I read this originally, it was Adam.
Well, this says a white transgender woman. So now look what you've done, Vito.
Oh, no, wait, that's one. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, thank God.
No, thank God.
What do you mean? I just saw.
That was one story. All the other ones said it was a man.
Dude,
then
can I, again, there's no reason for you to bring this up. You might as well just start dropping the N-bomb right now. That's how you're playing around with what we're trying to do. This is too deep of a place for you to go. All right? Too deep. Let's get back to your fat cankles.
This is Sex for Sam all over again.
It is.
I'm not trying to bring this whole ship down. I don't want you to be on a pirate ship by yourself.
No, losing you would change my life zero. I'd actually want to do a bit called Sucks for Sam, where Sam has to go around and perform moral on as many people in New York as he possibly can.
Sam Roberts?
Oh, yeah. The Dread Pirate Roberts, we like to call him. Again, the other night he killed, didn't he? Sam was unbelievable.
Yeah, he did a great job.
I always want to see Sam fail, and it never happens. I think everybody would be ecstatic if he would fail. But he just very comfortably goes from one thing to the next. Killed on Street Jokes.
He did.
Killed on Newlywed Game.
He did great.
He's the exact opposite of Vito. Vito, that'll be the last time that you bring up a bit that you haven't already run past the censors.
Okay. I will never bring up the transracial issue.
You just said it again.
Well, I mean, I can't even say the word.
No.
Okay, that word.
You said like it was the N-bomb.
No.
That's the word you want to say. Go ahead and say it.
I don't want to say
That's
that word.
what you want to say.
That's what you want to say? That's what you've been trying to say
I
this
would
whole
never
time?
say that word.
Really?
Never.
Well, you'd think it, wouldn't you?
No.
It took forever for that
It really
pause.
did.
I had to
and I
think
watched
about
his
it.
eyes go like this, like thinking about it.
What if it's in a song?
Go ahead and sing a song with it in.
Nope.
Jen, it's never okay for white people to like when they're doing a rap song to throw in the M-bomb, is it?
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable when that happens.
Thank you. A lot of times I'll go up after Monroe Martin or Derek Gaines and I'll say to the audience, hey, wouldn't it be odd if I use the N-bomb as much as them? Never gets a laugh. Never gets a laugh.
They just look at you like,
and then I go,
laugh at that.
then I do this. I go, well, you know, there's certain words that white people use that blacks can't, like escrow. Again, they look at me like, People now do not want to be, they don't want to laugh at an inappropriate joke. It's not that they think that some jokes aren't funny. It's just like, they're like, I cannot laugh at it. Like we all felt when Vito thought he was bringing up a news story that could have brought down this entire place.
Yeah.
And still may. And still may. But people are just like, and that's the political correctness. It's not like people even feel even more politically correct. They're like, oh, if there's a video of me laughing at your joke, I'm fucked. I can't work as an ice cream truck driver anymore, handing out ice cream cones to people.
Which is my passion.
That is a job I wanted when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all, I like...
First of all, you get a cool whip.
And I also like the fact that everybody comes running when you're around like, hey, I'm not going down that street yet. I might be there later. Because we used to run down the end of the block, and why don't you come down this street? He's like, Doesn't seem like there's enough cones to be sold up there. Chris, you need anything to plug before we get out of here?
Gail Meets Girls premieres this Saturday at 6 p.m. And on Raw Dog, and re-airs at noon on Sunday.
What's your promo sound like that you put together?
I don't have a promo.
Yeah, we have a promo.
Oh, we
It's
do
airing.
have a promo.
Yeah, it's airing.
I would love to have heard it.
I can play it for you right now.
I don't know if I have time now. You give me the thing that the show's
You can play it
over.
after, but we made it.
Yeah.
And
early
also
in the week.
just,
And we didn't tell Chris, obviously. Sorry, you were in the dark on that.
Just after the end of the show, Parm has sent over some lunch for us. Straight from Parm. Yeah, and Nicole.
Parm.
From
Why
Parm.
would they do that?
They heard us talking. They were listening. They heard us
Oh,
talking
that
about
is
bringing
so
up Parm.
sweet.
Chris, you still have to take me out for lunch. It doesn't count.
A soup is not a meal.
Half a lunch?
You want to take another 9 months before he gets a sandwich?
No. We will go out to lunch. Just David and I.
That is sexual assault. Well, that's great. That's nice. What all did they send over?
I have not had a chance to look yet, but
do we trust these? Whoever sent?
Yes,
I'm guessing it was Nicole from Parm. Thank you, Nicole.
Nicole, you're the best.
Love you, Nicole.
Love you,
very
Nicole.
nice.
Love
you,
Parm.
Nicole. All right, that's it for us. David, thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks so much.
I hope you had some fun.
I mean, experience of a lifetime.
Is that true? And you really do like this better than your 4 children?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Were all those children planned?
Not a single one was planned.
Yeah. They're never planned by the men, but I noticed this. The women were like, man, you kind of had to plan.
Yeah, my wife wasn't surprised. I was more surprised.
Every single time?
Every single time.
Every single time you're like, how the fuck does this happen happening to me?
I don't know.
My
This
wife's-
birth control doesn't work.
Well, my wife's in charge, but she was pregnant in the wedding photo, so
that's sweet.
Nice.
All right, that's it for us. You know, let's go see the Bob Saget thing that he was bringing up today. It's available everywhere. And Gail, we got anything left to say?
We'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!